Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. And yeah, I have two guests down here. It's a little bit different of a show for our Sunday night. We have Luis Rodriguez in the middle and Laptop Travel over to the right. And we are doing our option show. I know a lot of people have been asking about it. So here we are, guys. We're going to go into options, teach you what we know. We all do three different strategies. So you're going to have, make sure you get your paper and pen out. I was just telling Laptop Travel and Luis Rodriguez I'm looking forward to listening to them and taking notes because I'm not even familiar what leaps are and other things. So I taught myself one style and I'm going to show you guys that. But first, Laptop Travel is going to lead us off. He's going to go through both Luis Rodriguez, Laptop Travel. They have entire presentation set up, guys. I'm just going to kind of cruise around and show you some different things. So you're going to have a different look, three different looks, three different styles of options and ways to trade. So, of course, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And now, Laptop Travel, take it away.
Hey, aloha, everyone. This has been a great project in the making for a long time. And so we're going to talk about options. I'm going to start off with just a little bit of terminology for everybody and then give you some short-term strategies. And then Luis and Doug will offer their strategies. So first off so whether you're a beginner, you're a swing trader or a day trader, we're going to break it all down on the show tonight. So hopefully you can trade smarter, not harder. Amateurs want to be right. Professionals just want to make money. So the first thing you think about is stock options. These are financial contracts that give you the right, but not the obligation. So you're not forced to, but it gives you the right to buy or sell shares of a stock at a fixed price by a specific date. So these are derivatives, and that just means that their value is derived from an underlying stock. So we'll focus on two types. We'll have calls and puts. So options trade on exchanges like stocks, and they have a premium, which is a cost to you to buy the contract. Oops, my collar. And so let's first off, we're just going to take a look at the options chart. Tonight, we're going to look at options charts for Google and for Tesla. So let's look at the option chart for Google on closing price on Friday, October 3rd, just as a demonstration here. Now, everything we present you tonight is going to be based off of Friday's closing prices. Now, stocks trade after hours. So let's say, for example, that in this example, that Google was trading, that Google was trading, at a price that
246, I think it closed.
246, thanks. Yeah. And let's say it went up to 256 in the after hours. Well, that changes everything. So you got to readjust your math. Okay. So let's understand the basics here. So some of the terminology we'll get into here, and we'll see this on some of the tables, but I want everybody to understand that we're all talking the same language. So one option.
Okay. It froze for a second. There, you're good. You're good.
So one option typically controls 100 shares. And the strike price that you'll see in the chart is the fixed price at which you can buy or sell the stock. So when we look at options for Google, if Google's at 246 and you're buying an option for, say, 250, then that's the price at which you have the right to buy. If Google goes to 1,000, you still have the right to buy it at 250, or you can sell that option to someone else, and that's really where you make money. The expiration date, all these options have different expiration dates. Typically, those are Friday dates, and we have weeklies, which are Fridays. We also have monthlies, which is a specific Friday in each month. And then there's also, which we'll talk about shortly, is zero DTEs, which expire the same day. These are very volatile. These are things like a lot of indices like the IWM, the QQQs, the SPY, things like that. they have options expiration every single day. Then we have the premium. That's the price that you pay or receive for the option. And that's influenced by the stock's price, how much time is left on the option, the volatility of the stock, whether it goes up and down a lot, things like that. Then we'll talk about another term is in the money. We call it ITM, in the money, and it's profitable if it's exercised now because you're in the money, because the stock is priced higher than the strike price that you purchased for your option. Or if you purchase a put option, now the stock price is lower than your strike price. Then there's ATM, which is at the money, okay? And that is when the stock equals the strike price exactly. And then OTM, out of the money, which a lot of people trade here, out of the money because they're expecting some kind of movement. OTM is not profitable today, right now at this moment, at least for the option itself, for the ability to buy the stock. Now, the option can change price and you can make money even if you're out of the money because it's based on what traders believe will happen with the stock, therefore either increasing or decreasing the value of the option. So call options. A call option gives you the right to buy 100 shares at the strike price before the expiration date. So why would you want to buy a call? You have a bullish outlook on the stock. You think the stock will rise above the current strike or above the strike price that you purchased your option for, plus the premium that you have to pay for that right. And that we call that the break-even point. So your profit potential is unlimited. If Google goes from 246 to 1,000, you just keep making money because your options are worth so much. Who wouldn't want to buy a share of Google for $246 that now is worth 1,000? Your options are just gold to them. And then the maximum loss on a call option is the amount that you paid in the premium. So, for example, a stock's at $50. You buy a $55 call option for $2 premium, costs you $200 because that's $2, the premium, times 100 shares. And if the stock hits 60 at expiration, then you exercise to buy at 55, and then you sell at 60 for a $5 profit. Minus the premium gives you a $300 profit. So each option's worth $5. You paid $2. The difference is $3, but you have 100 shares for one contract. So that's $3 times 100 shares. So you have $300 in net profit. So now think how much money it would have cost you to buy 100 shares of a $50 stock. Well, it would cost you $5,000. At this original, you only put in 200 and you net a profit of 300, 150% profit. Now, if the stock stays below 55, the option then will expire worthless because you bet you believed that the stock was going to go to 55 or higher. Now, if it falls below the strike price, your option will expire worthless. But you can sell the option anytime.
Uh-oh, you froze again. I hope you didn't freeze. Laptop travel, you just froze. Oh, coming back.
That's a connection. That's just a connection issue.
Yeah, there it comes. It froze for a second there, laptop travel.
Okay. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
That's called technology. We deal with it.
And put options. So a put gives you the right to sell 100 shares at the strike price before the expiration. So, for example, you'd want to buy a put because you think the stock is going to go down. You think the stock will fall below the strike price minus your premium, and you will profit if the stock drops. Again, the maximum loss is the premium that you paid. So, for example, you buy a stock at $50, I'm sorry, the stock is at $50. You buy a $45 put because you think the stock is going to go down, and you buy that for a $2 premium, $200. Now, if the stock drops to 40, you can exercise to sell at 45 your option because you bought it. You will go back into the market basically and buy at 40 for a $5 profit minus your premium. And if it stays above 45, well, your option expires worthless. Now you can sell a put and you will collect the premium, but you must buy the shares if exercised. So use that if you're bullish long term. Now, another thing we're going to see on the chart when we get here are what we call the Greeks. And the Greeks are these metrics that are put there to help you determine the sensitivity of the particular option to the market. And so these are analyzed how an option's price changes with different market factors. And they help you to predict the risk and reward in options trading. So you can use them in tools like option chains or calculators. And I wouldn't do this by hand. I would definitely have a computer help you with that, and I'll explain that later. So first off, we have delta. And delta is a Greek that measures the price sensitivity to stock movement. And we give it a rating of 0 to 1 on puts. So a delta of 0.5 means the option price rises 50 cents for every dollar increase. And this is very important because for every dollar in movement on your stock, you want to know how your option will be affected. Well, delta tells you that. So a delta of 0.5 tells you for every dollar that stock goes up or down, your option price should change by 50 cents.
I just learned something new, guys. I had no idea.
It's great. And gamma is the rate of change in delta per $1 stock move. So the high near at the money expiration, then the option starts to accelerate. It helps gauge the delta stability. So high gamma means more convexity, a more curved payoff used for dynamic hedging. So the higher that rate of change, the more you could potentially profit by a dollar change in the stock's price. And last, the third one we'll go through. There are a few more, but we're just going to go through these three. The last one is theta, and you really have to really focus on this. And I know Lewis is going to talk about long-term options, but this applies even to short-term options. It just has a higher theta if it's a short-term option sometimes with a very volatile stock. So it's called time decay. So theta, time decay, TT. It's the daily premium loss as the expiration date nears. So that's a negative for buyers because you don't want your option to lose value through time decay. So for example, a negative 0.05 means that you're losing $5 per day per contract. So that's something really to watch. And it's high for short-term out of the money options. And buyers were always fighting time. Sellers benefit from it in the final analysis. And here is how you measure this. I put the formula there and all that, but you don't want to do this by hand. I always take something like an AI like Grok or something and take your options and put them into that and have it analyzed. And just tell it to analyze your options based on the Black-Scholes model to help you calculate them. And it will start with delta theta for the basic trades. And then advanced users can use other hedges. So give that information to some AI and let them do all the math for you. Okay. Lastly, a zero DTE. DTE is days till expiration. This is used with great reward, high reward, but also high risk. So this is a zero DTE means 0 days till expiration. So you are trading options that will expire today. Remember, the options market closes at 4. Many of your brokers will shut you down at 3 p.m. because they don't want to take that risk in the last hour. So don't think it's always going to last till 4 p.m. So for example, you see this a lot, like I said before, in the IWM index, in the SPY. The SPY is the number one, the Standard & Poor ETF index is the top one traded with 0 DT. People are playing that constantly throughout the day with looking for volatility in the SPY, trying to make money. And you can make a lot of money very quickly. You also can lose. But remember, if you're buying call options, the maximum you can lose is the money that you paid for the option. You can't lose any more. Okay. So let's take a look at Google and Tesla for our demonstration purposes. And remember, again, this is not a recommendation. It's just we've picked 2 stocks to just kind of lay out the foundation. So here's the daily chart of Google, okay? It's been on an uptrend for a while. It's had a minor correction. We've seen that in the last few days in the market. But now since the government shutdown, now we're starting to see a little lift up. But I don't know, it's still down, it still has a negative MACD crossover. So you have to think, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? So let's look at the chart. So tomorrow is, oh, I'm sorry. I wrote October 3rd, but it's actually October 10th. Sorry. So on Monday, October 10th, tomorrow, these will be, if you're trading these will be 0 DTEs because they're expiring on Monday. And you can start buying them at 9:30 in the morning, not before. And you have to know, we're going to talk later at the end of the show about what's happening in the market tonight to look at these. But you want to know what's happening to, in this case, Google stock overnight and in the pre-market tomorrow to help you determine where you should be. But we're taking these numbers. These are fixed right now from Friday's close. So we look at these here. And so if we look here, and I'm sure, can you see my mouse moving on the screen?
Yep, we can see it right around the bid.
All right, so here we are. So I was on the chart of Google, and then I just went and went across the tab on Webull, and I went across to options, click that, come down, looking at single options. I'm looking at 10 options, so it gives me 5 in the money and 5 out of the money. So there's your 10. I'm looking at calls only. Please make sure that when you're doing this, you don't have that button say calls and puts. I have definitely bought puts before in the past thinking I was buying calls because they all showed up on the same screen. Make sure that little tab right there is calls. And then you can do filtering and sorting and those things. So anyway, I'm looking at this, and so I'm looking at the Google options, and maybe for me, I might be interested in the 245s. It's Google's according to here, Google's closed on Friday at 246.45, and that's the closing price at 4:30 or 4 o'clock on Friday.
Yep.
And that's not the overnight price. That's the final price that the options prices are based off of. So I might buy the 245s and think that maybe I can already see that Google closed at, well, maybe that is I don't know, is that?
Yeah, well, it closed at the 246.45. You're right, but then in the after hours went to 246. It wouldn't have affected the options at that point, but yeah, it looks like it's around 246. I don't know what it's doing in the overnight hours right now, though. Did you freeze? Hold on, let laptop travel come back.
I think so.
I think he did. Looks like he's froze. Hold on.
Traded was 525. And the option went down 4.55% in that day. Here's the midpoint, which is between the ask and the bid, and volatility, 32%. Open interest, a lot of interest in this option because it is the last day. And then here are your delta numbers, your gamma numbers, and your theta numbers. Okay. Whoops. Sorry. Okay. And God, put the wrong data in there again. Sorry about that. And then, but down here you can see, so now the other short-term option you might take is Friday, right here, October 17th. Okay. That gives you a little breathing room. Okay. Because if you're trading these, which expire the same day on Monday, you only have hours and you could get a great reward. I mean, UNH, I remember seeing UNH when the news came out that Warren Buffett bought those options that were way out of the money, went up 110,000% on that 0 DTE day. Unbelievable. But you couldn't have bought those. You would have had to bought those ahead of time, but it would have been a lotto play. So looking at options now that expire this Friday, okay, that's only 5 days away. If you look at those, let's look at these. The first one's on Monday. Look at the option here. The last trading price for 245 Googles expiring on October 10th are 525.
Oh, I think he froze again. we have laptop travel freezing a little bit. It's all good. His internet's glitching a little bit, but he'll get through it. Hold on. Let laptop travel come back. Here he is.
Okay. Now, let's take a look at Tesla. Same thing. Now, Tesla was on a rampage, headed up, had earnings report, didn't make everyone happy because the EV tax credit ended, and there are questions about competition in Europe and the future of Tesla sales in the United States. So,
guys, give me 1 minute. Hold on. My little guy's screaming. I didn't even know my wife just ran out to pick up a T-shirt around the corner. My little dude's screaming like a maniac. I'm tagging like, what is going on up here? She's like, I don't know.
Okay.
Give me a second. You go ahead.
And keep going. Okay, so I guess we'll keep going. So if we're here at, Tesla, now you have to think about, what do you think is going to happen with Tesla? If you're bullish about Tesla anyway, maybe this is an opportunity to pick up options where you think the price of Tesla is going to increase. My daughter thinks Tesla is going to increase, so I'll go with her. So on Monday, tomorrow, again, sorry about the date on the top. It says October 3rd. But on October 10th, tomorrow, these will be DTE options. These will expire on Monday. So Tesla closed at 429.83. We see down here. And the options all dropped significantly. Now, right now, it's 13.95 was the last trade. And we see there's some interest in 0 DTEs, even more in out of the money here. If you look at 430s, 435s, 440s, you'll actually notice a lot of options for higher price stocks always want to trade on the 0s and the 5s. So they love the round numbers. So 400, 405, 410, 415, 420, 425. That's usually where you see the most open interest. And this right here, open interest is the number of contracts that have been opened on that particular option. So now Friday, we'll look at Friday options. So we were looking at it's Google, sorry. Okay. So if you were looking at Fridays, I'm sorry, those are Google's prices and they're not Tesla's, but we can, Fridays would be more expensive because again, you've got more leeway time. Okay. Now, if you want, you can actually go into the chart on Webull. This is very simple. You can go here and you can go to the last price and come down here and you can right click on that price and a drop down box will open up. And you can go down here and say, hey, I want to see a chart. I'm looking at these numbers, but I really want to see a pattern, not just the stock pattern. I want to see a pattern and a history price chart of the options. So you can go here and go view Tesla 440 calls on Monday, expiring October 10th. And I want to see that. So if you do that, then this chart will open up. Now, this is a daily chart, and maybe that shows you a trend. Maybe that's something you want to follow. For me, if I'm doing a 0 DTE, I'm probably not looking at a daily. I will look at a daily for the stock. But when it comes to options, I want to look at something a little bit shorter time frame. So for me, I'll look at the 15-minute chart. And that shows a completely different picture. So if we look at the daily, that looks pretty scary for Tesla. Now, if I look at the 15-minute chart, I see that it looks like we've bottomed out here at around 509, and we were at 855. And my indicator that I use gives me a buy signal at this point. This is what this green triangle here is right here. And we can see on the 15-minute chart, we've lifted up. So for me, I would consider buying a 0 DTE on Tesla on Monday, especially at the 430. That's just me. This is not recommendation, not stock advice. It's just reading charts. Okay. So for me, I hope that helps and explains options. And I really looked at the 0 DTEs and then this the 1 week out or the ending of that Friday there. I want to thank everybody for always watching the show and being a part of everything. We hope we help you. Lewis is going to come on and he's going to talk about longer term options and what his thought process goes into that.
Awesome, Laptop Travel. Appreciate it. Sorry I had to run out there. My little guy's window was open. I had no idea. He's like, yo, can you shut the window? The wind's really loud. I'm like, my bad, buddy. So yeah, my bad. I had to run up there real quick. Let me pop this on. Hold on. I just put that. What the heck did I just do? Oh, here it is. I'm sorry, I added the wrong one. And then let me go over here, pop this on there, and there we go, Luis Rodriguez. So now we have Luis Rodriguez going to go. He's going to fly through, show us what he has going on with options. And again, guys, we all trade them differently. I do not trade them like Laptop Travel does, but I was definitely fascinated to see that. That's for sure. And yeah, I never have done one on the same day, to be completely honest with you. I've never done that to 0. So I definitely just was taking notes. I don't know if you've noticed, I was writing a lot of stuff down right there. So Luis Rodriguez, it's all you. And I can't wait to hear what you have to bring. Because again, I don't even know what a leap is, guys. So I taught myself options and I don't even know half this stuff. So you guys know I'm just a dummy with a brain injury. So Luis, you take it over.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Excited to be here and share my my swing trading strategy. It's using a 25 delta options is what I trade. Sometimes I'll go a little higher on the delta, but that's my starting point. And I look at some other things as well before I decide which contract to go with. But basically, it's designed for investors like me, you know, who are new to. Well, you all may be new to options, but it also applies to people who really can't watch the market all day. And so, you know, I have my regular 9-to-5 job and I had to adapt a strategy where I can make my decisions like the day before, either just before market close or early in the morning during a break, and then just let it ride. There's a way to trade options without being glued to your screens. So that's what we're going to dive into here. Next slide, please, Doug.
You got it. I was just trying to make the cursor so it wasn't all over the screen. So
yeah. I think Doug, I think you can go up to your tab there where it says File, Edit, View. Click View, and you do View Slides, and I think you'll get a full screen slide.
Where did you go? We tried it actually before it like messed up the whole screen.
It went black.
It went all black. So we decided we were just going to do it like this. So yeah. Thank you. Yeah, no, we did. Right before you hopped on Laptop Travel, me and Lewis did try that. And the whole thing went black. We were like, oh, let's cancel that out. I couldn't even X out of it. It was crazy. But anyway, yeah, we were having fun trying to get this all set up before the show, guys. So we've been at it for a little while, trying to get everything right. So I'm doing it for Luis Rodriguez, just kind of going through for him. So don't mind me with the cursor. That's what I said. I'm trying to move the cursor so it's not in the way. So my bad, guys. And here you go, Lewis. I'll just shut up and let you go.
Yeah. So why this strategy? As Laptop mentioned, options can amplify your stock gains, and you know, but most of the popular strategies taught require more full-time engagement. You know, kind of like Doug. with his rapid morning trades, laptop 4 a.m., a.m., p.m., all day long. My schedule just doesn't allow that because of my other commitments. So my approach is really to spot setups after work, buy calls on consolidating Mag 7 stocks, although I do purchase others. But then, and I look to capture anywhere from 1 to 3 days or up to 90-day swings. This approach has yielded between 100 and 300% returns for me with just really evenings of my time invested. Next slide, please. So the core idea is, as I mentioned, is that I hunt for oversold stocks like Tesla, United Healthcare, on Thinkorswim, or you can, this works on any trading platform. There's a section within the brokerages that it's called the options chain. Within here, you can check for the implied move at the 25 delta strike. This is going to show the market's expected swing, which for our strategy is going to be the entry signal. That's where I'd want to enter. Next slide, please. Now this is going to be hard to read. I have some things circled there because it's kind of small, but basically, we're looking at the 25 delta call chart here on this option chain for Tesla. This is an older figure that I had. What I'm looking for is at the potential move when I'm looking at to buy a call option. This particular call may move from $8.85 to $60. You can see it here. I have it circled on the top right. It's called the Vega, and the Vega is 60, and this tells me that the call options price is expected to change by about 60 cents for every 1% change in the implied volatility of the underlying stock, in this case Tesla. Assuming all other factors remain constant, like stock price, time to expiration, interest rates, etc. In this instance, I'd be purchasing and setting a tight 20% stop at $7, and hopefully it'll rocket for me. And it's happened with a lot of my trades. It doesn't always work out, but we have the stop losses to protect to the downside, and that's key. So it's basically it's not luck here. We're basing everything on volatility math, and if done properly with stop losses, the odds are going to be in your favor. Next slide. First off, I want to dispel, there's a common misconception about options that out of the money options is akin to gambling compared to in the money, which is a safer call contract to buy. Both really decay at similar rates via extrinsic value. For example, a $1 out of the money call and a $1 in the money call have identical theta. Theta is your time decay. So I focus on extrinsic. I buy cheap. I sell when I hit my targets. And this concept really levels the playing field for retail investors like us. Next slide, Doug. So why the 25 delta? This is the expected move. There's a formula where you take the at the money straddle and strangle and you divide it by 2. With NVIDIA in this example, if you add the at the money straddle and strangles and divide by 2, that's gonna be the ask between 625 and 520 on this drawing here on the call side, and between 108 and 110 on the put side. That gives you around $10.60. This is the expected move from 110 where it closed in this example. You add the $10.60 to the close of 110.69, and that gives you a potential move target of 121.29, which aligns with the 25 delta contract if you purchase it. The strategy here is to buy 2 to 3 months out on higher volume strikes, hold briefly for pops. I sometimes go a little higher on the delta if I see a lot of open interest, meaning there is a disproportionate number of contracts open for that particular strike price. Maybe it's a 53 delta, but higher open interest will often give you a better price when you exit due to the higher liquidity. And it's often an indication of large whale activity, meaning the trade is more likely to hit the implied move. I always say, you want to be a fish in these situations and swim with the whales.
Mm-hmm.
Next slide.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So for balance, there's a strangle strategy that uses, this is after once you get set up and you want to expand, that that uses the out of the money deltas between 0.15 and zero point 0.3. Um, I like to look at the volatility with the Bollinger Bands, and I avoid earnings with this strategy, which tend to have intrinsic value spikes. And I typically stick to post-event setups. I use 20% stops on these, just like the others, and look at the implied volatility. Anything over 70 is going to be a red flag for me, as the contracts are overpriced. And then so that what that means is they're going to move in larger swings in either direction, and that increases your risk if the trade goes against you. Also worth mentioning is that your stops are more likely to trigger with these types of contracts. So if you're setting a 20% and you get a big move, you're going to be stopped out as quick as you got in, potentially. Next slide, Doug. So a strangle is an option strategy that lets you profit from a big price move in either direction, whether it's up or down in the stock, without needing to predict the exact direction. It's great for when you expect volatility, like before earnings or some big news that's coming up, but you aren't sure which way the stock's going to go. Here's a simple breakdown. I'm going to give you a simplified breakdown based on an example. The timing is going to be key. You want to pick options that expire 30 to 60 days from now at the very least. Why is that? Because this is going to give the stock enough time to swing big, which is what we're really betting on. If you're too short and the move might happen too late, too long, and the cost gets too steep, think of it like planning a vacation where you need the right window to enjoy it. For example, if we're looking at a stock today, I target contracts expiring mid-November to mid-December. This fits nicely with the strategy of holding trades for a few days to a couple of months, checking setups after my 9 to 5. And so imagine if the stock is trading at $100 now. With a strangle, you're going to buy two options: a put option with a strike of $90. That's below the current price. So it's cheap, but wins if the stock drops. And then you're going to get a call option at the same time with a strike price of 110, which is above the price. It's going to be cheaper too, and it's going to win if the stock shoots up. Both are out of the money, meaning they only pay off if the stock moves a lot. Together, the two options might cost you $400 total, say $200 for the put and $200 for the call per contract pair. That $400 is the most you can lose if the stock just sits between 90 and 110 by expiration. And then if you get that big spike going up, you can close your put and you'd profit on the call side of it. And the opposite is true. If it tanks for some reason, you would close the call contract and then just let the put ride. And that happens on earnings news. We've seen it so many times where, even on good earnings, we'll see a stock go down like 5-10%. It's crazy. So now when you start making money, your break-even points at the extremes. If the stock drops below 86, that's $90 minus the $4 premium. You break even on the put. If it rises above 114 to 110 plus the $4 premium, you break even on the call. So the stock needs to move at least 10 to 14% from $100 to cover your cost. Picture a graph. You're losing $400 if it stays flat, but profits climb fast below 86 or above 114. It's a bet. It's a bet on a big swing, which is why I'd pair this with one of my indicators. I have the TTM squeeze breakout signal. It's called paper trading to build confidence. Before jumping in with real money, I would suggest paper trade with this strategy because it does take a little while to get used to it. You can use a simulator. I know Thinkorswim has a paper trading section. I don't know if Webull does. I know Laptop does. Can you paper trade on Webull? Yeah. So I think most of them offer it. And so I would recommend you paper trade just to get started before you get into this advanced strategy. But it's going to help you get a feel for the break-even zones and timing without risking your own money yet. It's like a practice run before the real race. Perfect for beginners. Slide 9. So I typically narrow my focus to the Mag 7s. They have high beta and typically move in predictable swings. Meta, you can see, makes up like 5.87 of this slice. As of 2025, collectively, the Mag 7s in this group, they make up 30% of the S&P. You wouldn't need to scan over 8,000 stocks. You could focus on these. They have a certain track record, and as long as the stock is bullish, the stock market is trending up, they're fairly predictable. You can establish patterns with it and trade. I think it's a safer trade when you're getting started with options. Next slide, Doug. So in this example, we buy 10 contracts in consolidations, sell half at a breakout. For example, let's say Meta to $600. Put 20% mental stop always, or you can put a fixed stop. Start with smaller positions if you're new to options. Most of these have ETFs at lower price points that are optionable, like TSLL, METU for Meta, and GGLL for Google. They allow you to purchase more contracts using the same strategy, but they're leveraged. So they're going to swing hard in either direction, up or down, which is why I typically like to stick with the underlying stock when I'm purchasing options. But this could be a way to getting around the barrier to entry due to people starting out with smaller accounts. Or you could just purchase outright the stock as another option. Next slide, Doug. So here's an example of one of my recent trades with Tesla. Tesla was in a wedge in June. I bought the $400 call strike contracts for $25.20 per contract. It's up 177% to $7,000 on that deliveries beat. I sold a third of my position. So what I have remaining is really risk-free, and I'm letting that run for a little more. They expire in January, so I'll be looking to close those contracts pretty soon. But I'm willing to bet we have some upside. I know there's some news coming out tomorrow. Supposedly they're implementing a new update to their autopilot software, and Tuesday they're teasing about some sort of new announcement. So I'm still holding. I have time, so another 2 months or so. But I mean, that just shows the impact of how much you can make back if you're buying at the right price point. The last thing you want to do is chase these. So you'll want to know when's a good time to get in, and we cover that all on Doug's show. And Doug's really good at that. Next slide, please. Google. Okay, so you could see that nice channel, that channel bounce entry where I got in just before, right where I circled it on the chart. Those contracts that I purchased back in May, they're up 550%, and that's even after the pullback. I was up even higher than that. I plan on selling most of them soon, but they're good till June of next year. So this is an example of a leap contract, Doug.
Okay.
Yeah, I bought it in May, and I had 13 months on it. I had a sense Google was doing all the right things, and the markets were starting to recover, and I thought it was a good bet. I didn't want to chase it, and the implied volatility was low enough. It was under 70, so I just set it and forget it. And I've just been slowly watching it go up in that channel, like predictably. You look at it, you can see it goes really down to the bottom, and then it just finally breaks out. Next slide, please.
That's a beauty right there.
Yeah, that was great. Is that the next slide, Doug?
Yeah, 13. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, so you can see I have some indicators like the Darvas box. That's that wedge that I was talking about, where you can see the lines. The Darvas box line is it kind of shows me the breakout points. It helps validate, support and resistance for me. And then that wedge, it's really the easiest trend line you can draw. And we've used it for so many stocks. And once it breaks through, it's a good indication it's going to go higher.
You know what? I can change our speaker view. So hold on. Let me just. Nah, I'm not gonna mess with it. If it messes up the whole show, it'd suck. Next time we do a show, I set it up for both. I didn't know it was gonna
Yeah,
work. And next time I'll make sure I put the
okay.
boxes on the left hand side so that everybody can see the full screen. And again, we
Yeah.
were just kind of new at this our first time, and we
Maybe
plan on doing some more. So
maybe we can share the slides. I'd be happy to.
sure, that would be great.
So I use the TTM squeeze also for pressure, RSI for overextension, trend lines. I look at the 5-year charts for reversals. It's a good indicator of longer term trends and support levels. Next slide, please.
Yep, here, I'm gonna try it. Ready? Did I do it or no? Did I mess this all up? Oh, I'm gonna keep it right here. Sorry, guys. I thought I could try it. We're gonna keep it just like that so nothing gets messed up.
14. Okay. So as I said, I use 20% stops. I watch the implied volatility. Anything above 70%, they get pricey. Options are too pricey for my taste, and you can expect big swing moves if you're buying a contract over 70%. And at that point, you need to be directionally right. If the stock doesn't move post-event, like for earnings, the value can crash on these due to the cost and time decay. It's really a high stakes bet that needs a huge payoff. What I like to do is define my risks or buy the stocks directly. If you see a stock with higher than 70% delta, there's plenty of other options out there. Don't fall in love with a stock just because you're convinced it's going to go up. You have to have everything working in your favor, and that's what improves your chances of being successful in the trade. Next slide, please.
Absolutely, Luis
Yeah.
Rodriguez.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my swing. It's simple, it's effective, it works, it's work schedule friendly. You know, I recommend you paper trade your first Mag 7 setup. Watch it, see how it responds. Watch the show as often as you can. both the night show and the pre-market. Hit the like button. And we cover the better entries on a lot of these. Doug talks about them every single day, twice, morning and night. And he has that insight that really helps. It helps me as a trader validate some of the things that I'm seeing, because that's a gift that you have, Doug. Not everybody has that insight.
I
Next slide.
appreciate it. Thanks, Luis
Yeah.
Rodriguez.
Just one more. In closing, just some last minute tips. As I said, paper trade first. Identify Mag 7 stocks meeting our criteria for options. Pick a contract we discussed and see how it reacts to the price moves. This is going to build your understanding of today's concepts, and start small. Use one contract with a mental or automatic 20% stop to avoid 100% losses from surprises. Conserve your capital. One big win offsets small losses. Stay in the game. That's the key. You want to stay in the game. Don't overtrade. Focus on a handful of these Mag 7s and risk no more than 1 to 2% per trade to grow positions as your account builds. Thank you very much.
That was great stuff, guys. Both of you is just perfect right there. I have to say that was really good. And then here, guys, I'm going to show you. And again, I just kind of taught myself how to do this. So I am obviously no financial whiz by no means. You guys know what we do here. And last year, right around this time, I'm telling you, I was like, yo, I have to learn how to trade options. I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what I'm doing, but we're going to figure this out. What the hell? And now I'm going to show you, and I'm just going to use FinViz, guys, because you can actually go through. What's great about FinViz is they have all the options chains right up here. Look, they tell you if there's short interest. I mean, FinViz has really stepped it up. You've heard me talk about it. You can do TrendSpider, but the FinViz is pretty easy right here. So I was just going to do it because it's an easy one that everybody can look at. Obviously, when you go into your brokerage, some of the numbers might be a little bit tiny off, but for the most part, this is what it's going to look like exactly. So this is your options chain right here for Amazon. I'll go through a few of them, guys, because I'm just going to fly through. And obviously, Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel, great job explaining options there with like all the the vocabulary words, I'll say, and the definitions, and then both of yous together explaining options, how they really work. And so I'm not going to just repeat everything they just said because they said it better than I could anyway. So I'm just going to show you what I do, and I'll just use the FinViz. So here we go, guys. Amazon, if I was looking at this, let's go to it. We'll look at the chart. We'll go right through everything just as if I was doing it, and we'll use real-time numbers. And Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel, we're basing everything off of Friday's closes, guys. So we were trying to make it as updated and real life as we possibly could for you. So here we go. Let's take a look. And we have our AI right here. Amazon unveils new hardware and launches new Amazon grocery private label unifying fresh and happy belly brands. Not sure what's up with that, but just some kind of news right there. And here, let's go through Amazon. So here's our stock chart, guys. Things getting set up. We know that. Look at this thing getting into a bullish set. And we're down here, guys. Now, are we going to cross through this MACD? I'm not so sure it's exactly ready with the 20 coming down here, 50 coming down, but we know we're close, right? So this is what I look for, guys, and this is how I do it. So I'll just show you. Go over to your options chain. Now, again, I would probably more wait to make sure it's going to curl up and get that real curl up. So I'd look to see what it looks like tomorrow morning, obviously. But if it was looking good, this is what I would do. We're at 219.51. That's where it closed at 4 p.m. on Friday right there. So that's the price that they're going to go after. Obviously, went up a little in the after hours, and then it moves in the overnight hours as well. But they're going to base it off of this as of Friday at 4 p.m. because options go 9 to 4 or 9:30 to 4, not even 9:30 to 4. Just the regular market hours, no extended hours for options. So 219.51. I believe Amazon's going to go up. And again, I'm just using these as a example. I'm not saying that this is an exact pick that I would be running with. I'm just using all of these as examples here. But just to say Amazon's looking real good, because again, I would wait to make sure it's really curling up. And again, I'd wait just to see if I can get a little bit of a better price action, guys, because as they were explaining, if you get in too early and they start to pull back a little bit, you'll see the time decay and all that stuff, depending on how long you have, and they will pull back. So I do try to time them out right. Obviously, we're never going to be perfect. Everyone knows that, but we do a pretty good job, I must say. So we're at 219.51. I think it's going up, guys. I mean, it seems real basic to me. Why am I not going to pick $220 right here, right? And look at these things. I mean, these things are cruising. They're 43% up, 40% up. These things are rocking and rolling. Now, that's a Friday expiration. So what I would do in my case is I look about a couple weeks out, because when I was doing my research, I realized about 3 weeks out, they seem to pay pretty well as you get to that price. So if you're selling them, and this is what I did, so that's 3 weeks out, is actually Halloween right there. And so yeah, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I go 5 or 6 weeks out, guys. This is my method right here. Say I pick 5 weeks and we're at 219.51. I'm picking that 220 there. They're already up 11%, but that's fine, because what happens is if this thing really goes up, say tomorrow, we really thought it was, I'm not saying it will, just using it as an example, but this thing goes up and it starts shooting over 220. Now you're in the money, like Luis Rodriguez, they were talking about, in the money, out of the money. So you pick 220 as your strike price, you automatically get right into the money. Say it goes right to 221, guys. Now, depending on what your premium is, you're in the money and you're going to start seeing this thing move up. And as the time decays and the thing's moving up, the percentages get insane. I was hitting anything. There wasn't anything less than 150% than what I was hitting doing the setup like this. And as you can see, Joseph Levy's first option, it was over 176% it was up. And so he had basically done this exact same method. So once they start moving, so if you know the directions it's going to go in, like I said, why would I risk the 225? Of course, if it starts moving up, you're going to be making money. Don't get me wrong. You're not going to be down. But if you can get in the money immediately and this thing starts taking off, I realized these things were jumping up like crazy, the percentages. I'd never seen things like it. And again, I was a big penny stock guy that picks 100% plusers on the Dowie, and I'm hitting these things for 150% like immediately, guys, within a week or two. And I mean, we're talking all the Tesla or all the Mag 7s, any big cap, any of them. It was just wild. So this was the method I did. And again, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I pick right around there and I try to time it out so that I'm selling it when it's about 3 weeks, when it's the expiration still has about 3 weeks. And that was just something that I did. Obviously, I couldn't now every one at 3 weeks. Maybe some would go down to 2 if I could time them out right and make sure I got out. But it just seemed like that 3 week period, for whatever reason, seemed to be like the most amount of percentage. Now, again, you're still doing really great. And the weird thing with options is, in Laptop Travel said, if you try to do the mathematics, obviously use a calculator, computer, and AI, because I have no idea how to calculate these things, guys. And every single one is like a different price, a different everything. And as you can see, so Amazon right here, we're trading at 219, and you can see right here, your ask is $13.95 and your bid's $12.95, and you're saying, what the hell is going on? I'll be completely honest with you guys. I have no idea. I never even understand this stuff. I'm not going to lie. I just know that I know if it's at 219.51 and that thing's bullish, it's definitely going through 220. So guess what? I'm clicking on that thing and buying my option and watching it go up over 150% pretty quick. And again, I bought myself time. Now, these aren't going to be the cheapest options, especially with the Mag 7. They're going to be very pricey. So that's why I tell everybody, mess with the ETFs first. Get comfortable and confident before if you do start to mess with the Mag 7 in this matter, because some of these can cost you up to two grand for an option. Some are like 600. It's all over the place, guys. So again, just one example. I'm going to fly through a few of them for you guys all over the place, just so you get a good idea of what I do. And so and if anyone has questions, feel free. So yeah, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go to 5 weeks out, right? And I'll look and see. This is Meta right here. You can see it closed at 710. And Meta, let's look at the stock real quick, because Meta took that nice dip right there, and it looks like it's pulling back a little bit more. And you know damn right, when Meta gets set up, when this 20 comes down to get ready for it, we'll see what it looks like tomorrow as it bounces off down on this bottom area. But you know, Meta is going to shoot right back up and be in like the 780s. Guys, we're in the low 700s. Do you know what kind of move that is right there? That's a pretty crazy move. And if you just go, so Meta, we'll do Meta real quick. So that's a crazy move right there. You go over here, you look, you're all the way down here at 710. So you got to scroll down a little bit. And here, and again, some of them don't have every dollar. Some are like every $5 increments, $2, $3. All the options are different, guys. And again, I'm not really an expert on it. I just know if I know that stock's going up, I know what to look for and where to pick it out. So this is how I dummied it down to teach myself how to trade options. And I had a brain injury while I was teaching myself last year. So I say, if I could do it, everybody can do it. But yeah, I just figured if this thing's at 710 and hypothetically, again, we think Meta's going up. I don't think so at this moment, so I wouldn't be buying this tomorrow. But hypothetically, it looks like it's ready to pounce right at this moment. I would go to that 712.50 and watch it jump up. And again, look how much room we could possibly have. I mean, you're at 712.50s, like way down here, obviously. And if you just get moving up in here, and if you start hitting these things for over $20 or $15, $10, guys, these things just start soaring. It's crazy what options do. And as Laptop Travel explained, you get 100 shares. So if you buy this Meta, and let's go back to it real quick, and I'll show you what it's where it's at. And maybe that's what it's all about too with these prices. Like I said, I don't understand it completely myself. But 712.50 right here, and these things are at like 1230, 1240, and that's what you're looking at. I don't get it completely, but that's where you're buying your price in, and you're getting 100 shares. So then you think it's really going to fly. 100 shares is a lot, guys. And to buy 100 shares of Meta, you can see you got to add 2 more zeros. So it's going to be pretty pricey for you, as you can see. And but now you have an option with 100 shares, and you can definitely make bank. And that's why I'm saying these options are crazy. You definitely have to time them out, and they're obviously way more risky because you have an expiration date and the time decay. So you really have to make sure that you know which direction they're going in. And like I tell everybody, be sure to try to find that bottom. That's why we always look for the bottom and identify that bottom and know when we're starting to move up. If you can just get there and find that bottom and then say, all right, now I know a pretty good area of where my low is going to be, and I know this thing's going to get moving. And hey, it may take 3 weeks, it may take a month, but if I buy it a couple weeks out there and 5-6 weeks out, and this thing starts moving in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, guess what? The thing's going to pop big time. So that's how I look at these things. Let's run through a bunch of them. And if anyone has any questions, I'll pop the StreamYard. I see that. So if anyone has any questions, feel free. But yeah, so then you look at Meta right there and it looks real good. And of course, Meta has your ETFs right here. Here's your bull, guys. And guess what? You can trade your options. And now this is going to be a way cheaper one. Obviously, it's only in the 40s right here, and it's the same chart for the most part. They usually are. You can see it's pulling back, so we're using it hypothetically. I don't think it's going to run tomorrow, but if we did think it was going to run tomorrow, 39.80, you can just buy that 40 right there, guys, and start moving. And look at some of these things. I mean, look at where they get to. They're 57%. It's pretty wild. Now this one's a Friday, and again, I would go right down here. Well, see, and these ones, the ETFs, see how they don't have them every week. There's like one a month. Then the next one expires in February. So you definitely have to pay attention to your options and see what they have to offer. That's what I've realized the most, to be honest with you. They're all so different. And again, maybe we'll have more people on and Laptop Travel and Luis Rodriguez can break it down a little better. I really don't know anything much about them except which ones to buy that are about to go up and how to dummy it down and make them fly up over 150%. So, yeah, I don't really know much about options. That's why I was taking notes, listening to Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel. But I do know when Meta gets set up, I'll be looking at this METU down here, and obviously we may get it down in the 35s, and then our strike price will be 36, and it'll look a lot better. And like, look at some of these guys, 60%, 70%. Some of these things just start moving, and again, that's a Friday. But say I wanted it, and again, I like it a little bit out, maybe even say, I probably wouldn't go that far, so I would have to look at it, but I probably wouldn't do the 1 month. I'd probably go a little further out is what I was going to say. And then, yeah, you just look at these bad boys, and as Meta bottoms out and starts moving, these percentages will start creeping up pretty significantly. And that's all I do right there, guys. I look at the price action right there. I go right above it. I don't try to figure out what price I think it's going to run to. And I think a lot of people in normal stock strategies is the strike price. So for example, we'll just say it's at 40 and you think it's going to 46. People pick around that 46. I don't understand why. I just figured, let me pick 41. If it's going to 46, you're definitely going through 41, right? And once you're through 41, now you're in the money. So I realized that they were paying out better that way. You do pay a little bit more, but I was fine with that because I was just smashing them out of the park, every single one. And where you have to really be careful with options, and I've told the story many times, I gave back a bunch of profits because I was an idiot and got a little too aggressive and thought I was like doing really well, and they'll humble you real quick too. But as these things get into the top, guys, and this is where you hear me all the time saying this, when they get over to 70 RSI and they're in the top, you got to lock in them profits. And they were running in the top. And I remember last year I was saying, just watch out. They may start to pull back. And with options, guys, it just takes that one dip and you're beat. You get crushed on them because they have expiration. So if they don't bounce back up, now you're going to be down. And if you get real aggressive with a couple of them, you could take a bath. And like I said, a Meta is going to cost you a couple grand. So that's the things that you have to really think about when you're doing options. You have to play them smart. And obviously, we're going to go they were doing Tesla, so I'll do Tesla as well since they did it. And you can look at my style here. So here's our Tesla right here, right? We'll go over to the options, and Tesla, obviously a little bit of healthy pullback, but we think it's going to get rolling right back up again. And here we go, guys. So this one's going to be expensive. Tesla and MicroStrategy seem to have some of the most expensive what's that word, Laptop Travel, the premiums. They seem to have some of the most expensive premiums. I'm not sure, probably because they run a lot and they do big moves. But I noticed when I was looking at these things, they had pretty pricey premiums there. But anyway, here you go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just pick a couple weeks out. Again, we'll even go to December 19th down here. We're at 429, so you got to scroll down and find the where it's at in the middle. That'll be your price all the time. So you just scroll down and find where you're at. And obviously, I'm picking my 430 right there, and it goes right up to 430 and keeps on moving. You're in the money, and this thing's going to continue to cruise up, guys. And again, the further the if you don't, well, I won't say you don't want to be on top of the expiration date. I just feel like from my experience and when I was like messing around and I would buy multiple ones, just doing experiments to figure this stuff out. I'd buy the actual ETF. I'd buy the real one. I was figuring out what was paying more, how the time differences were. And it just seemed like that 3-week period. If you were up on it, obviously, if you know it's going to keep climbing up and you still have 3 weeks left, yeah, keep letting it run, guys. But sometimes when you get into that area and they've already topped out because you read the chart perfectly, you have to take them profits. And I realized right around that time, they were paying huge amounts. Like it was just ridiculous what they were up. So yeah, that's how I look at these things. And again, that's Tesla right there, 430. I'm going right there and riding that bad boy up and trying to get it to run out of the park and lock in those profits. So I have like no crazy way to do it. TSLL, we were all playing this last week, and obviously I basically did this method, guys. I went out here, I pulled them out into November, and then I just, it was say it was at 19 and I got them at 20, and then boom, just ran them up. Look, some of these at 16% already. And so, yeah, you can, and obviously some of the ETFs you won't get over 100%. I don't know why, but the other ones, like some of the regular, like if you trade Tesla this way, it'll be jamming. I'm not saying you won't make a lot because these TSLL was definitely paying pretty well in the last week or two. So we were all playing it. Laptop Travel gave it to us, and we all started messing around. Robin was making money on it on the daily there. He was trading it around on options. So yeah, it's one of them ones that will make you money. But again, you're gonna probably make more on Tesla, but who cares? You're gonna pay like an arm and a leg to trade that thing, whereas this thing is in the $20. And look at the bids; it's like $3.20, $3.25. And then if you go to Tesla, I'll show you the difference what the bids are right here, guys, and I'll even get closer to that date. It was what? I forget what I picked, but somewhere's around there. And yeah, look at these. They're 38.30. And again, that's 100 shares, guys. They're basing this off of 100 shares. So you can tell that's going to be an expensive option, but you can still play the exact same Tesla through TSLL, TSLR, and still run these things up. You might make a little slight percentage less than if you had Tesla. But are you really going to complain because you didn't have to take the $2-3 grand out of your pocket to put up front? You took like a couple hundred and you like doubled it. So we're even made a nice profit on it wherever it ran to, depending. But Tesla's been moving around, guys. These things start run. We've seen a lot of these big ones running around like $10+. If you're hitting options and you're hitting them for over $10, you are making some money, I promise you. And you know how many that we give out on the daily that run like this all the time? And the night note, guys, that's what it's set up for. I mean, not exactly 100%. You could trade the stocks and all, but I obviously give you the setups, and this is what I look at, and I try to look out. You guys know about 3 months just to see what the markets are doing. But yeah, I look at these options and I buy them a few weeks out. Like I said, I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right around there, a month and a half out, and then try to play it so that I can sell it within 3 weeks. And so that's just a method that I figured that I taught myself to, and it started to work out for me. Now let's look at a couple of small ones right here, like a UPXI, because I really like this one right here. This is the Solana treasury right now, and it's at 744. Look, you can buy it at 750, guys. Look at this chart right here. And I was telling you guys that this was looking good right here, and Solana's ripping up, and obviously crypto is going to be ripping. So something cool to look at, because you can play Solana basically with an option in the market, just doing it like this because they're a Solana treasury. Obviously, you don't have real Solana, but they own a ton of it. I know that. I forget. UPXI builds 447 million Solana treasury and bets on AI-driven Alpha Exchange launch. So yeah, they have enough Solana, and if Solana's cruising, guys, guess what's going to happen? This thing's going to go ripping. So that's the way I look at these things, and you can already see it's getting set up. You have a couple channels right here that it wants to bounce in between and jump off it at 993. And another great one right here, guys, is SBET. Do they even have options? I don't even know. That's why I go on here. I didn't even write it down for tonight, but it does have options. And again, look at this chart, guys. I mean, this is one of these ones that we're talking about that you could slay it. I mean, it's at 1820. It's one of the biggest Ethereum treasuries. It ran over 120. Can you imagine having an option right here, and when it gets to 28 and it really catapults up, holy cow, guys, are you in the money? The money is going to be insane on this thing. So these are the types that I look at, and what I would do for this one, because I know we have a little extra time, and this one does have them weekly, I might actually go into next year for this guy right here, so I could buy myself the time and know that we can get that run, because crypto is going to be cruising. Now, is it going to top out in December? January, we have no idea, but we know crypto is about to get ripping, and this SBET looks amazing. It's at 1818, guys. You buy that $19 option, and this thing starts cruising the way we think it's about to. Holy cow, that thing's paying significantly, guys. Like I said, it's going to bounce off of this area right here after it gets up there. So it's just something that I look at, and again, you can play them, and kind of Luis Rodriguez was saying, like, his leaps in the way he does it, because he has a 9-to-5 job. So he obviously finds his setups that he likes, and he buys them out a little further because he's not on there all day to be looking at it. And I realize they move so fast and all the time that I like the setups. That's what I've always been good at. So I knew I had to kind of scale back and get back into my lane. And yeah, like something like SBET, guys. I mean, holy cow. This thing is insane right there. What about like a BMNR? Do they even have options? I don't know, but I look on Finviz and it says they do. And another one, this is another Ethereum one. Go into that January area right there, and you're what, at 56.65. So you're taking the 60. And again, look, these go every 5 hours. So each option set up a little bit different. And Laptop Travel said SBET $24 January 16 call. So yeah, let's go right back to it and look at it real quick. But yeah, I'm telling you guys, these things are going to be insane. I promise you, they should be absolutely insane. So there you go. There's your January 16th and your $24 calls right there. So yeah, he's, like I said, you can pick them out. They'll be a little bit cheaper too. And if we know it's going to run like that, sometimes I will pick it out a little bit further down. If buys, I'll take a little more time. I know it's going to hit there, guys, and I can get it a little cheaper. These are, the way I do it is going to be more expensive, I think, than most ways of buying options, is what it seems like to me. But again, I've done extremely well with these things, just knowing the way the chart's going to move and having to pick out that bottom and giving myself enough time, if I can, and obviously never 100% right, but if I think that I can be about 3 weeks out, I'm going 6 weeks out so that I can sell it with 3 weeks left in it still. So it's just the way I did it. And I am constantly kind of experimenting with options as well and messing around, trying to teach myself any other way. And that's why I was enjoying Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel, because again, two totally different looks and two totally different styles. They don't even trade options the same. None of us do. All three of us completely different. And I'm not sure. I'm guessing Laptop Travel and Luis Rodriguez are probably self-taught. And Laptop Travel said his price for SBET 24 January 16 are $2.70. So he thought mine looked more expensive. Absolutely. And thank you, Laptop Travel, for pointing that out right there. So yeah, and that's exactly what I was kind of saying. So mine are going to be a little more expensive. So again, this is why I'm saying something like this, I may go down a little bit, because look, you're going to pay that $3.95 around here, $3.85. And where Laptop Travel is, he's under $1. And that's where I've noticed. That's why you got to really pay attention to what option and what it's doing. They're all so different, guys. And that's what I've realized the most. Again, I have no idea how they even come up with this bid and ask price when the price is at $19 over here and you're at 385, 395. I think Luis Rodriguez was explaining it. And again, I am just, it just doesn't click to me. I have no idea, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to trade options and hit 150%, 200%. It doesn't matter. You don't have to know all of it. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You just got to pick out something that works for you. And that's what Laptop Travel and Luis Rodriguez both did. They gave you a style that could work for anybody. And this style can work for you too. I'm just telling you, it's going to be a little bit more expensive up front than what other people do. And that's why I said that completely. I realized it immediately. I was like, well, I can buy them cheaper if I buy them, further down. But I know it's getting through that 19. And that's where I said I was perfectly comfortable with paying the higher premium and knowing that it was going to run and it was ripping through the money. And again, I was hitting every single one for no less than like 150%. I don't even know how. I have no idea how, guys, but that's what was happening. And Joseph Levy can tell you the story. He did the exact same thing and asked me what I would do. I told him, and the next thing you know, this thing's up 176%. If you can read the chart and know when it's going up and where your bottom is, I'm telling you, you can do very well. And you don't have to play all the big ones and stuff like that. SBET, these ones are pretty cheap. There's even cheaper ones. And I told you guys, my very first one I ever did was this one right here, MPW. Look how cheap it was. I went after a really cheap one. I don't remember what it was last year, but we'll look at it and see. Let's see. It was right around this price, I bet. Yeah, right there. Look. And it was somewhere right in here. And I remember I bought it. And maybe I don't even remember, guys. I just know I bought it and it went up and I sold it. It was my first one that I ever did. And it was a profit. It wasn't 150% or nothing, but it went up. And I was like, damn, that was pretty nice. And it did pay out pretty well. Again, you get 100 shares. So unless you can, you're forking out big money and you're just buying hundreds and hundreds and thousands of shares of things sometimes, the options are a good way to buy and have 100 shares and really leverage your money. That's what it really is, guys. It's leveraging your money so that your money can work for you. And with that leverage, it can make you way more money. So that is what I look for right there. A few I wrote down, and another one right here I just jotted down. I looked at it and made sure that they did have options on this because I've been loving this Solana ETF. And again, Solana is going to get nutty, guys, and they do have your options here. And look, guys, I mean, look how cheap these are. $1.15, $1.40. And this is an ETF right here. The other one was at SOLT. And I'm not sure if they had options. I don't know if I even looked. They do, absolutely. So, yeah, you have two options here. And this is a 2-time Solana, guys. So it's very interesting. And this is just the way I did the options. You can see how the chart looks. And you can tell this thing can go from 28 to 35 in a heartbeat. And it's a 2-time ETF. You're going to make good money, guys. Trust me. So just a way, another method and style to do it. Completely made it up myself. I never read about this anywhere else. Nobody ever told me how to do it. I read a bunch of the options books. I watched so many videos on YouTube. The more I felt like I'd watch stuff and try to learn it, I was more and more confused until the point where I just said, you know what? Who cares? What's a couple bucks to learn how to do this? I look at it like I'm paying for my education, guys. So I just went into it. And again, bought MPW was my very first one. I remembered that one as my first one. And I also remember Space. I bought Space too. And actually, we've been liking Space. Look at this, guys. Now let's just go over here and check this out because we've been talking about Space. And can you imagine back here when we were saying it was setting up in the 3s and now you're already at 428 and it's cruising right there. So let's go ahead and look at the option chain right here. We'll go out a few weeks like we always do. We'll go to like November 21st. And yeah, this thing was cruising and you probably would have been up in here buying it way cheaper. Has this got the I guess that side's going to be your shorts, right? Your puts over here. They usually put your calls over here, your puts. Yeah. It says it right here. So yeah, these are all your calls over here, guys. These are your put options. I just realized that I had them both up right there. But anyway, your calls are, so this is a good way to know because I had to learn this too. I had no idea, but I learned. your call options are always over to the left. So when you're going down here, you're always going to kind of go over to this side over here and not necessarily this side, because this is your put side. And Laptop Travel did show you can just make it so that it's just call options, and then you eliminate all your puts. And we're just looking at it on Finviz. They give you both sides. But I did learn that when I came down, I was always going over to the left to hit that. So again, for example, we're at 428 right here. They have a 450 call. I would just go over here, click that, and that would pop up in my brokerage account. And then you know what I would do to figure out how much it costs, because I still haven't figured that out yet. I would go in and hit the market price, and just to see what the thing would cost. So you can easily do that. Obviously, don't hit the buy button right away. But if you want to see what the option's going to cost you, just go in, click it in there, click on it, so it brings it up in your brokerage, and then just hit market. Go to market, because it'll ask you, do you want a limited buy, market buy, and then just hit preview, and it'll literally tell you what the price is right there. That's the only way I know how much they cost. I can't figure it out. I have no idea, guys, and I'm not even going to try. I don't think. I mean, maybe one day I'll figure it out. I'm not even that concerned. I know we can rip through these things and make a fortune on options and not even have to know everything about them. I did know about the Greeks. I don't even really look at them, to be completely honest with you. But I think I will start looking at, what was it, the theta right here. I think I'll pay attention to that. Was that the one that's your time decay? That's the one that I'm always most concerned about. It seems like your time decay is the one that gets you the most. So that's why you got to really kind of time them out pretty well. And obviously to make the most amount of money. But yeah, the time decay is the thing that seems to get you sometimes. But that is as simple as I made it for myself, guys. I just go and buy. And obviously you can see, look, the method I do is going to be more expensive, the 66.72 ask. And if you buy it down here at 550, you still have to jump up $1, but you can get it at like 20 cents cheaper plus 41 to 47. So you can obviously get them cheaper if you look around and buy them out a little bit further. But I'm just telling you what I seem to do. And again, things like an SBET, where I know it's going to go catapulting, guys. I mean, you're going through. I mean, you're going to get the 28 right here, and it's going to shoot off like a rocket. So, yeah, you're pretty confident. I'm pretty confident that we can get there. So that one, I might go down here. And again, I'd probably go out in the January down here, and then I would look at it and say, all right, I know we're going to get through 24 by January. It's not even a question. And I can grab them a little bit cheaper than buying the very next price. So every single option has a different kind of formula, I guess I'll say. That's not really the word I'm looking for, but they're all a little bit different, and you got to go into it just knowing what you're looking at and what you think it's going to, what you're expecting it to do with confidence. And that's pretty much options, guys. So let me know if anyone has any trouble, any questions or trouble. But yeah, definitely let us know. And yeah, Luis Rodriguez, make any points you want to, go for it. And
Doug, I just wanted to drive that point you were talking about, leveraging your money. I was looking, because I'm going to be closing out my Tesla contracts pretty soon, and I was looking at the options chain for Tesla going out, like to purchase a Leap option contract. I want to give myself more time. Right now, Tesla's trading at 429. That was the close on Friday. In looking at the September 26 contract, the 500 strike, if you want to bring it up.
Yep, I gotcha. What day did you say? What was the date? I'm sorry.
This is September 2026, 500 strike.
September 26. Oh, it got 918 here, but that's fine. September 26. Oh, yeah. You're right.
Let's look at that 500 strike.
Let's go right down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that bad boy.
So what do you got? $78?
Yeah, 78.15 and 78.60.
Yeah, so that's a 53 delta. The delta, which is part of the Greeks, will tell you the move of the option contract relative to the movement of the underlying. So for example, Tesla, you have this contract, Tesla goes up $1, your contract will go up 53 cents on the dollar. And then as it approaches that strike price of 500, the delta will increase. So as it moves in your direction, in your favor, the movement will escalate. So it'll go up. If you're up at delta 70, 70% on every dollar, you're getting that kind of movement. Now, there's some other things that factor into it, like volatility. It definitely plays a role, but it's a way I figure out more or less how much will this contract go up if Tesla goes up to my strike price.
Yeah, no,
Once
it's that's
once
a
you
go
once you
ahead.
yeah, once you get, in order to be like 1-to-1 where your contract moves dollar for dollar with the underlying, you have to get about 20 to 30% above your strike price. So if Tesla gets to like 520, 530 with this contract, it's moving in line. It's like you own the stock. And it would just have to get to 500 plus to get you to that point, but you're still going to make money in the interim. If you decide to close it out, let's say Tesla goes to 490, 480, you're still going to be up. And the point is that you're putting in a lot less money for the contract as compared to purchasing. If I were to purchase 100 shares of Tesla,
Mhm.
you're looking at about $43,000
Yeah.
to buy 100 shares.
Yep.
Compare that to a Leap contract, $7,800. That's less than 20%. That's leveraging your money. So you can take that other money and purchase other things. You can purchase other contracts. You get more than one contract if you want.
Yeah, you buy
Assuming
two.
assuming your contract, your account is a larger contract account, and you can allocate that if that's part of that 1 to 2% of your total contract. But on the lower end, I bought SBET. I got the January 27 calls, and it was no brainer. It was like $7. I bought it for $7. I bought 5 contracts to start, thinking if it dipped, I would add to my position. But from now until January of 27, it's already up 10%, my contracts. It's like you were saying, there's no way that's gonna, it's bottomed out. We've been tracking it for months, and
Mhm.
it's been squeezing, and it's, once it goes, it's just gonna go. Just
Mhm.
like RGTI, we were stuck in that 13 to 15 to $16 range, and then just one day news comes out and it just goes, it's tripled since then.
Yeah,
This,
no, I
I
agree.
could see the same thing happening with SBET.
Oh, SBET's gonna get, well, I'm telling you, crypto's gonna get so crazy, but this SBET and BMNR guys and UPXI, that's why I tell you about them, and we have them on the list every day. And obviously your ABTC will be good, but I would rather play to the other three and not mess with the Trump companies unless they're completely set up. We know when they'll be perfect. Trust me, we'll definitely get involved with them, but they're gonna have to be perfect setups because we know they're highly manipulated right here for these Trump companies. Whereas your SBET guys, I mean, come on, it's just gonna rocket. We already watched it rocket once,
Yeah.
and this thing is gonna do it by 10. I think it might beat this. I think it might actually soar through because it's going to be really bullish and just get some crazy momentum. So, yeah, SBET, one that you definitely want to look at, all of them, UPXI, BMNR. But yeah, just a couple different ways, guys, that you can trade options. So there is no exact way or one way to do it. That's for sure. There's a lot of different ways. And like Luis Rodriguez said, he picks a style that adapts and works for his lifestyle. I kind of do the same thing now. I don't trade as crazy as I used to because I suffered a severe brain injury and I tried to do it and my brain just won't keep up with it, guys. So I had to stay in my lane, know what I can do, and that's what you do. You just do what you can do really well, you do it, and then you'll always succeed. So I find I can find these setups pretty easily. Luis Rodriguez is really great with these setups as well, and he plays them out long because again, he's not staring at the computer all day. And look at his, I mean, he's got options up over 500%, guys. So, and he's buying them fairly cheap because again, he is buying them way out. So it's is that what makes it a leap because it's so far out, Luis
Yeah,
Rodriguez?
it's anything that's more than a year is considered a leap. So you can
Okay.
buy, not all the underlyings offer, like a 1 year or a 2 year, but most, the ones that have enough volume, you can go out like to January 27, January 26. So it's not a leap yet, but some of them are offering already the 28s if
I'll
you
be
want to go that
honest
far
with
out.
you. You know, it's funny because I didn't know what a leap was. I'm not going to lie, but I do know I bought my Space SPCE. And again, I was just experimenting, guys. So I didn't really know what the heck I was doing. This was the second one I bought. And the first one was that MPW. And then I bought this one. But for whatever reason, I decided to make it a leap. And yeah, mine like expires like somewhere's out here. Maybe it's like that April, and it was down for so long, and all of a sudden it just started cruising back up out of nowhere. I was like, that is so bizarre. I think it might still be down, but again, I still think this thing might have, and again, it was like a $3 option. I bought like 1 or 2 or 3 of them. It wasn't anything crazy. They were dirt cheap. And but yeah, this thing may actually run up, and I may actually sell it for even a
It's
break
looking good.
even.
It's looking good there, Doug.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. The
Yeah,
last
no, I like
2
it.
weeks.
And
Yeah.
I might win that second option. I figured that was just a donation, but hey, it might actually come back around, and I may actually be up on it. And again, I was just experimenting, guys. I knew it was just I was messing around with certain ones and making them cheap. And again, that's why I tell you guys, don't go messing with Tesla right at the beginning, because you're going to get your ass handed to you. Granted, it'll probably go up and you'll make a bunch of money, but it'll be risky and an expensive one. But yeah, look at these things. I mean, your bid's at like 66 cents, 72 cents. You're getting 100 shares right there, whereas you would have to put in like $400 and some or more to buy 100 shares of space. This thing's going to cost like nothing, guys. Like it could cost like $30, $20. I'm not even kidding. I was buying options that were that cheap, just messing around and just trying to figure out the timing of things. And again, I was like, I'm learning how to do this, guys. I don't care. And I just started messing with them, and I figured it out. I mean, I'm not perfect at it, obviously. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about, but guess what? I can smack these things out of the park for over 150%. And that's all that matters to me. I don't say that I know everything going on in the stock market either, but we can sure as hell play that thing pretty well too. So yeah, that was just what I started to do. And I keep putting the StreamYard thing all over the place on the screen, so pardon me. But anyway, yeah, that was just a method that I learned and or taught myself. And like I said, I'm going to start doing, I think, a couple more leaps. You can get them super cheap. And if you know these things are going to be rolling like that, you're going to buy it dirt cheap and just let it sit there and go up. So some interesting option talk right there. Let me know if you guys have any questions, that's for sure. And I greatly appreciate everybody hanging out. Let us know your feedback if you like it. And we already talked about doing some more. And I'll also I'll put the screens up here, guys. I had set one up for both of them, and then I just set it up and we ran with the ones on the bottom, but I realized they should definitely be over here. So next time I'll put the our screens over here. That way you guys can see everything. I think that would have been a little bit better today. But anyway, I think that yeah, we got it all together. We got the options show in there. And again, anyone has questions, Luis Rodriguez said he would be more than happy to share his slides with you if anybody's interested. And we'll run through and just kind of look at the market, see what's going on. And I'll let Laptop Travel and Luis Rodriguez chime in if they would like and tell you what they think for tomorrow. So yeah, let's just roll right through real quick. I'll read the news. We'll go through like our SPY Mag 7. Obviously, we'll be on at 7 a.m. tomorrow. So we'll do our full pre-market, but just a little special option show. I know a lot of people have been asking about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's for sure. I had a lot of fun, and I just learned a lot of stuff as well, guys. I'm telling you, I was taking a ton of notes over here, and I'm sure I'm going to watch the show back because I was paying attention, but also paying attention. And I had to run up, and I missed some of Laptop Travel, so I apologize about that. I had no idea my wife had to go. Like, she had to just run over a friend's house and pick up a shirt, and Dougie was a little upset that the window was open. I had no idea. I was like, what is going on? I could hear him screaming, and I'm like, what is he doing? I just figured he was up there playing with my, like, messing around, or they were like being silly or something. And then I really started to hear him like scream, and he didn't sound okay. And I'm like, what is going on? That's why I texted. I'm like, yo, what's going on up there? She's like, I don't know. I'm not home. I'm like, oh, great. So my apologies real quick, but he's usually fine. I mean, you put him in bed and he doesn't say a peep. And, but yeah, the window was open and the wind was blowing and scaring him. So I understand that. So he was fine, ran up, shut the window, tucked him in, and he was all good to go, and he was happy. So my apologies for that. I had no idea what was going on up there, but nothing too crazy, at least. That's always nice. But yeah, here we go. Let's roll through our news stories, and then we'll go ahead and check out our Mag 7, our SPY, some other guys, see what we see, if Laptop Travel has any suggestions for tomorrow, or Luis Rodriguez, and then we'll call it a Sunday night. Everybody can go enjoy their evening. And again, give us some good feedback, guys, so that we know if you guys enjoyed the show, because we said we'll do some couple more. We'll do a few other things. And obviously we gave Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel both gave you like the basics of the options at the beginning of the show. Really just Laptop Travel went through, told you what all the meanings mean and what you have to look for, your strike price, your expiration, all the three important Greeks that you're going to look at. And that sort of info. So if you had no idea about options before you hopped on here, you definitely got a good education on options today. And you might not understand any of it, and it's perfectly fine, guys. I promise you, you probably won't understand it until you actually start paper trading it. And it's not a bad idea. A lot of the platforms, they have paper trading for a reason, guys. They don't want you to lose all your money too. They'd rather you put your money in there and actually make money. They make money with you. So they would rather you not do bad. So they do offer the paper trading, and feel free to take advantage of it. Mess around with some options. See if you can figure out a little pattern or something that'll work for you, and then just go from there. But yeah, definitely, I absolutely, Luis Rodriguez said it, the laptop, absolutely just start paper trading it and just start it, guys. And again, Joseph Levy, he got into it. He did BBAI, and let's just look at that one real quick, guys, because here you go. He hit me up and asked me about it, and I told him this is what I do: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even go out. Yeah, I'd probably go right around there. One of these two. It doesn't matter. We'll pick the December 19th, and this thing obviously was way down when Joseph Levy had bought it. He was like down here, and the thing went ripping up. I think we were buying it like right here, and the thing ripped all the way up there for a couple days. But anyway, it is going to try to pull back. It may actually try to get up there. I'll look at it tomorrow. Regardless, we're just using it as an example here. But if you were way down there, say we were ready to get popping and you're at 719, and that 750 right there is going to be popping. You can see the calls are a little bit down and your puts are a little bit up because it is pulling back. And this is what I'm talking about, your time decay and stuff. So if you do get in too early and you get a good dip, you're going to see a pretty good pullback. And then you got to climb out of that. Hopefully it bounces up for you in enough time. So that is something that you absolutely have to keep aware of. And sometimes why I do buy them out a little bit. Like I said, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just kind of look at the chart and try to base it. Do I think, and I always try to give myself a little extra time just in case. You never know what's going to happen, guys. But as soon as it starts moving up and you're good and you feel like you've got up a little bit, that's when you can obviously get out of it and lock in your profits. And obviously that's the most important thing right there. So let's cruise through, see what's going on right here. And let's see. Red Rocket Countdown liftoff for his Laptop Travel's top picks. And I'll let you, if you want. Can you even? Yeah, you could definitely talk. If you unmute yourself, yeah, you can talk. So I'll let you go over them. Here, I'll do the news things, and then I'll look real quick. We'll just hit the Spy Mag 7. Tell us what you like tomorrow, Laptop Travel, Luis Rodriguez. And if anybody has any questions, we'll be more than happy to answer them. I'll go through the messages while Laptop Travel's going. So here we go. Here's our news stories. Oil prices gain 1% after lower than expected OPEC output. So that means your gush is going to be looking good. Who's been talking about gush for a while? And let's see what's going on with the Dow, S&P 5, NASDAQ futures climb as government shutdown drags on. Holy cow. You mean the market isn't phased by the government shutdown? That's amazing. I didn't even know that would happen. Stock futures are a little changed after a record-setting week as government shutdown continues, and the stock market's relentless march higher has fueled a record rush of bullish options trading. There you go, guys. How about that? Interesting news story on our show. And the Dow closes at a record on the third day of the shutdown. So like we said, was the market going to be phased much? Not really. I mean, I thought maybe we might see a little pullback, and we did. We saw a tiny pullback, and then they got ripping. So go ahead, Laptop Travel. You go over your list because you got some good ones right there. I know that.
Yeah. So first thing, I just want to clarify and match up our prices on. This really bothers me about SBET. If you go back to your FinViz price for SBET, 16 January calls, $24.
Let me see.
I just want to make sure we all have the same price because your prices seemed way out of range.
This one, January, you said January 26, right?
Correct.
Okay.
24 calls.
24 right there. 267, 281 is your bid and ask.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm sorry. Your
good?
cursor was over on the right side. Okay. I got you.
And then
You're
there's
good.
oh yeah, look at your puts over there. Yeah, they're pretty.
Yeah.
Whoa, they're pretty expensive, huh?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
wild.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
that's
So we're
odd.
good there.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So first thing is, at the beginning, if anybody remembers, I think even before Trump was president and he was already elected, he talked about Greenland, right? And he's talked about acquiring Greenland, buying Greenland, taking Greenland. And everybody's like, why the hell is Greenland an issue? Well, rare earth minerals, you're going to hear about this for the rest of your lifetime, probably. But all of our technology and stuff is based on all these rare earth minerals. And America and China are in this huge competition. Now, China has vast amounts of rare earth minerals, which are used in a lot of our technology, and it makes things. It's a necessary ingredients for furthering our AI tech and a lot of our defense weapons and things. These AI scopes that these people have, like a heads-up display inside of helmets and things. Anyway, a lot of things. So China's had this and been selling this to us for a long time. Well, now there is this silent iron curtain that's being built up again. It's a red curtain between the United States and China. China is trying to stranglehold those minerals. Trump and the U.S. is scrambling to get access to rare earth minerals. And they're making a deal with Australia right now. Australia sees this as a problem, and they're creating a rare earth strategic reserve. And they're going to let their allies join in on this and have access to it if they will invest in Australia's mining production and stuff. That's fine. It's kind of like the same thing Trump would do. You want to sell microchips? You better build them in the United States. You want to not have tariffs on your cars? Build them in the United States. So anyway, Greenland has this enormous reserve of rare earth minerals. And so a couple of these companies, so right here, Carmel, this company just got access to, I believe, to more than 95% of this huge reserve in Greenland. And the price jumped up 70% overnight on Friday. And you're going to continue to see this. Also USAR with his, USAR is United States, God, I can't remember the name of it. I should look that up real quick. What's their actual name?
It is on the screen. It's USA Rare Earth, and actually right here, Laptop Travel and the AI thing, it says USA Rare Earth USAR stock surges to all-time high after CEO confirms ongoing merger discussions and direct talks with Trump administration regarding potential investment or partnership. Right there, guys. So interesting for that one.
So US, as I understand, US Rare Earth is really has its is really Australian. And so this is this Trump administration trying to get with Australia. Well, anyway, this Carmel, CRML, is also Australian, but they have gotten access to this field in Greenland. So anyway, rare earths, you're going to hear about this. And I talked about this a few weeks ago. Think about this. AI is moving forward. We have Trump, who is a Republican and very much commits to defense and weaponry. Okay, escalating conflicts going on in the Middle East, situation with attacks in Qatar. Trump's talking about bombing Iran again over their nuclear facilities. So we still have a war machine going on here, and so investment for that requires a lot of these minerals as well. So that plus AI needs what? AI needs microchips. AI needs data centers. They need electricity, right? And they need power, and power comes from nuclear. So, and then we're talking about incorporating. Now we see NVIDIA and these large companies, Google, investing in quantum. So the writing's on the wall.
think Laptop Travel just froze real quick. Hold on. Let him come back. He'll unfreeze himself. He'll fall out in a second. Hold on. In the meantime, I'll carry over. But yeah, I agree with him. Look at this CRML, guys. I just pulled it up on the Trend Spider right here, and Laptop Travel's still frozen. Hopefully, it unfreezes. But yeah, this thing, I'd be watching this thing first thing in the morning. This thing's probably going to be ripping. I'm sure Laptop Travel's going to have it on his 4 a.m. watch list. There you go. You're good now.
So invest in those things, right? That's microchips, right? That's AI technology, that's electricity, which is through nuclear, and rare earth minerals. And you're going to see Trump move heavily and quickly on this. This is going to be a top story this week, continuing from last week. Tariffs is one thing, but Trump is trying to secure the future of America, its defense system, and its weaponry. So those are some of those. So that's really a lot of what I had in there. QCLS is a company that was and this is crazy. We see pharmaceutical and biotech companies which become crypto treasuries or do something else. Well, this is a company now that is involved in quantum computing. QCLS. This thing's gonna just explode because now they have a new way of using. They're not using electricity. They're using I believe it's lasers to do quantum computing, and they have a patent on this. So this thing is going to explode also. So that's where I am right there. So that's all I got to say. But you watch these 4 that I just gave everybody, and you want to buy options, you can buy options on a few of them. So go with that.
There you go. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Laptop Travel, that's the only way you can make all this stuff, and including all the EV batteries and stuff, guys. They need all these precious metals and stuff to make all that stuff. So, I mean, everything right now is based off of these metals, and we don't have enough in this country. That's for sure. We're not a big metal country like that with these fine metals like other people. I didn't know that Australia they were doing that, but it does make a lot of sense, and I could see us paying for all the drilling and mining equipment over there just to get these rare earths. They're super important. As you can see, USAR was ripping up there Friday. I did see it. I remember it was running up some more in the after hours, and I would assume some of these guys are going to continue to run right there. And BZAI, I saw you had that one at Blaze Holdings right here, and that is looking good for tomorrow, guys. So you might as well keep your eye on BZAI, because that's a really good one right there. And I know Luis Rodriguez had mentioned, hold on, obviously LAC, this one was ripping up Lithium Americas Corp. Look at this thing. Another one, guys, can continue. We were looking at it down here, and that thing was a monster right there. So your metals and mining, or your industrial metals and mining right there are going crazy. RGTI also going nutty there on Friday and should continue its way up. And here is some of our industrial mining ones. And let's just take a quick look. ATLX looks like it wants to continue to run right there. Let's see what else is going on over here. There's probably a ton of them, I can imagine. That looks beautiful. GSM. And let's see, that one's setting up. That's running up. IPX, LAC's running up. LAR's running up. That's getting ready to run. LGO. That's just pulling back. Quick hair. That's running up. NTMR. So yeah, you got a ton of these guys. That one looks real good. NB. So yeah, you got a bunch of these guys, and obviously there's a second page over here with a few more. And let's see what's going. That one looks pretty good. SLI. That one, there's your USAR right there. That was ripping. USGO looking pretty good. So yeah, I would say your metals, industrial metals and mining ones looking pretty good right there. That's for sure. Let's go ahead and roll through our SPY, our Mag 7, see what they're up to. Let me see if you guys have any other comments or anything you guys want to look at. I know, Luis Rodriguez, you just posted a few good ones, so let me just run through them first before we even hit our SPY or Mag 7. Our SPY's right there. You know they were leaving it, right? Like, I'm surprised it wasn't sitting on the line right there. Honestly, looks pretty good to me, I must say. It's hitting that resistance. We knew it wasn't going through Friday. I can't promise you anything for tomorrow morning. We'll be on at 7 a.m. And you guys know I'll be able to tell a lot better, but it may actually pop up there. I'm not going to lie. But Friday, we knew it was hitting that resistance and not getting through. I could absolutely tell that was happening right there. But let's go through a couple more from Luis Rodriguez. He has AI right here, that C3 AI, and that looks real good, guys. So I would say keep an eye on AI, and it's not Allen Iverson, it's AI to C3 AI Inc. How great was Allen Iverson? Did anyone ever remember him? He used to be a play on the Sixers basketball guy, and he was a short little dude, and but he was hardcore. He was so fun to watch. Good old AI, Allen Iverson. I'm pretty sure the Sixers just kind of keep him around in like the on the team, or not on the team, but in the clubhouse or whatever, and pay him or something. He like blew through money like no one you could ever imagine. Reebok was trying to like keep his money for him, and he was just blowing through it, giving it away. But anyway, it was he was awesome to watch, though. Good old Allen Iverson, AI. Whenever I see AI, and it's funny, like AI now is like everything, and AI back in the day was Allen Iverson. So kind of interesting right there. But anyway, let's go to Bitfarms right here, BITF, and that thing not looking bad. It is trying to curl up, and obviously with crypto running, let me close out a couple of these guys and open it up over here with our crypto looking good. I would say Bitfarms and all these guys are going to be cruising along. I know the one I'm trying to think of was trying to move, and I can't think of the letters. It'll come to me, I guess, or maybe not. But that one was looking really good right there. How about your TerraWolf right here? That has been running up and trying to still go. Remember, they were talking about going bankrupt down in here, I think, and then it just shot up. I remember we were looking at it because we were looking at Wolf Speed as well. That has been down right there, and that one might get cruising. Remember, this one recently popped up right there. Now look at it. So I'll have to keep an eye on WOLF right there. And Circle right here. That was down a little bit on Friday, but setting up to get moving. They do they? Oh, what the heck happened there? What the heck was that? I don't even know what just happened, guys. Didn't I just hit the options button? Went nuts. But Circle does have options right here at 146, 145 area right there. So there you go with them. They are down now, and that's why you can't get in these too early. But if you get in it at the right time as it's about to crank, you'll be definitely up that much right there. So again, the timing of options is pretty very important, I believe, and that's why I try to stay a little patient and just make sure I know exactly where they're at, and then try to time out exactly how long they're going to be. But if you can do it halfway like that, I'm telling you, you'll nail these things. It's pretty wild. And here's our Rocket Lab right here. Let's take that one looks pretty good. Rocket Lab, Aerospace and Defense. Lockheed Martin was up at the top, but it was looking pretty good. I jumped on it, and that looks like it's going to jump up in the morning as well. And they have options right here. So there you go at Lockheed Martin, and that's Friday's expiration. But if you wanted to go out until like the middle of November, here you are. And obviously the way I play them, look at it, it's way more expensive than if you tried to go out like an extra $20 there. These go up by $5 increments. And again, each one's a little different, so you have to pay attention. Some are $5, some are $1, some go 50 cents, some of the smaller ones. It's weird, guys. There's no rhyme or reason that I can figure out, but they just all have different prices, and you just got to pay attention to that. And let's see, that was Rocket Lab. So let's go ahead and look at our Mag 7 real quick. We were just looking at the SPY. It's just kind of hanging out right there. We'll see what it wants to do in the morning, along with everything else. But Apple wasn't looking bad to try to get cruising. They just left it on that line, but it looks like it wants to roll up and go up. And it looks like it's up in the after or overnight hours or whatever. Amazon setting up down here. This thing is definitely going to be getting set up. Just wait for this 20 to get ready with it, and it'll be a good one there. So I'll be watching the Amazon and the ETFs and Google. We were talking about that. Luis Rodriguez was, and that could have a little bit of pullback right there. Luis Rodriguez with that 20 trying to push it down. And these things look like they wanted to kind of pull back for a week or two, and then they want to really get ripping. So that is what they look like at the moment. Meta right here taking that big dip, and like I said, we'll definitely be seeking this one out when it's ready to get turned back around so that we could get cruising into Meta and obviously the options and all. And Microsoft wasn't looking bad, and this is a beautiful setup coming in, guys. So they have options. They also have ETFs, so you can go any which way you want with Microsoft. It's a Mag 7. There's your MSFU, and that is your ETF bull 2 times right there. So same exact look as your Microsoft, and but you can get it a hell of a lot cheaper. I can tell you that, because look, we'll just go a couple weeks. Oh, see, and some of that's an ETF. That's why. But yeah, you go over into January and look, you're 480, and then if you just wanted to go down, that's 52. So they do every dollar. You go to 54, you can get it almost a dollar cheaper, guys. So something to pay attention to, something to look at. I definitely look at all that good stuff. And Bitcoin is cruising right there at like 124. It was just around there because I see it going by. Solana's at 231, Ripple 297, Cardano's at 84. And yeah, them bad boys are looking good. This is what your crypto looks like, 124 right there. And let's look at a crypto real quick. We'll go through it. It's been going up. It was at 125 today. And where 125.5 it hit up there, and it's getting into the top right there, guys, and obviously it's going to continue to stay bullish. I think we're about to hit this crazy run. Look at Ethereum getting ready to rock and roll, and that's where your SBET, BMNR are looking great, and your Solana looking good, and that's where your UPXI is looking good. And how about this Ripple right here? It's just a little healthy pullback, but getting set up to rip. And Doge right now is kind of pulling back a little bit, nothing too crazy. How about Cardano? A little pullback. They're not crazy, though, guys. They have their 50s under them. They'll be perfectly fine. And Optimism right here, a little healthy pullback and going to get set up. So that's what they look like at the moment for our crypto. Let's see what's going on. BNAI right there, Brand Engagement Network, was cruising up there Friday. It did have a little pullback. We'll see if it can continue its way up tomorrow. That Dragonfly, guys, we talked about this thing, and we talked about it down here, and this thing's been pretty massive, running up there for a few days now. So there you go with Dragonfly. I don't even know what EPSM is. Let's take a look at it, though. I'm not even sure. And it is getting set up. This one's a good one. Look at that, up 1185. It's a beverage and winery distillery, and this thing's looking good. I gotta jot that one down real quick. Hold on, let me find a pencil. EPSM. I have to see that tomorrow. That's looking pretty good. And we'll see if they have options right here. How about that? No options available. That's why I do go on here, guys. I mean, you can obviously see on your brokerage, they'll tell you if it has options or not, too. Trust me, I've looked at a few, and it's like, no options available. You're like, all right, you don't have to yell at me. But you can easily look on Finviz as well. So I do always check it there. And let's see what else is going on. Fly and DraftKings. Michael Anthony came to hang out this evening. Fly is Firefly Aerospace. And Michael Anthony, that's looking really good to get set up off that bottom right there. I do like that look. And another one, I doubt they... look at that. They even have options right here. So there you go, guys. And you can see where they put theirs. They're pretty weekly, too. And then they go... yeah, they're not too bad. There's none in yeah, what happened to January? They just got rid of January, went right to February. They can run normal, and then February, and then the 5th, March, and then September. I mean, there's some big jumps right there. But anyway, there is FLY. It does look like it could get flying, Michael Anthony. And how about DraftKings? It's been dipping down. Oh, I like that look too, Michael Anthony. Remember, we were looking at this last week, just saying, let this bad boy just dip down. And usually it gets moving right around here. During football season, you got your playoffs in baseball and all that good stuff going on. As a matter of fact, I'll give you a quick sports update while we're sitting here, because it was a big day in the NFL and everywhere else. So let's just see. And great day of baseball yesterday, even though the Phillies lost, but that's how it works. The Patriots and Bills are on right now. It's a nice low-scoring game, 6-3 at halftime. So there you go with that. And is there any? Yeah, I thought there was some MLB. Damn, the Blue Jays spanked the Yankees 13-7. Wow, game 2. Toronto leads the series 2-0. Mariners and the Tigers are on at the top of the 7th. The Mariners are up 2-0. And we'll see what's going on with that, because Detroit leads that series 1-0. So if the Mariners win tonight, they will tie that right up right there. And there you go with a little bit of sports look for this evening. And Doge Mama 9, thanks for hanging out. And she said, thank you for Lewis and Laptop. And what we learned today was great. Can't thank you enough. I'll watch this show again and start my paper trading. I love it, Doge Mama 9. And I keep telling you, if you have questions, definitely reach out to me. You know that for a fact. And let's see what else. Yeah, both of them, LAC, RGTI, they're going to be looking good. Jerome Powell speaks on Thursday, guys, so we got to be paying attention to that. And earnings season kicks off in 2 weeks, beginning with the banks. So that could be that kickoff. Remember, I've been saying like a week or two, and things can get cruising. We'll go through the poly market. And Luis Rodriguez was saying he bought DKNG calls on Friday for the bounce. So there you go. Let's go through them. January 16th. And let's see what's going on here. Let me see. DKNG options right here. Let's look at what Luis Rodriguez just bought. He bought them. So he bought a leap because he went all the way out to January of 2020. Oh, that ain't that bad. Wait, I was thinking that never mind. That ain't a leap. That's just in a couple months. I was thinking 2027. My fault. But anyway, he bought here in January. So after the new year right there for a 37 strike. So kind of playing my strategy right there. And there you go with DraftKings. And let's look, because I'm telling you, this thing is looking pretty good right there. It will get cruising, and you got 30. Yeah, you're getting up here. You're going to at least get to the 40 area right there. So I may have to join you with that. Massive open interest right there. They were $335 per contract, guys. That's what Luis Rodriguez just said. I don't think he can get into the regular comments possibly because he's on the show. I'm not exactly sure. He's just posting in a private chat. I see what he's posting, so I'm not sure if he can put it in the regular chat. Maybe he can.
I get in, Doug.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so implied volatility is good. It's like let me see. I think it was 50%, 51%, which is low. And I got it for three. I think I paid $325 per contract, but right now the ask is $335 per contract.
Damn.
We'll see how it's doing in the overnight. I noticed a lot of the things that we're looking at, they're actually higher in overnight trading because the futures are up. Everything is green. I think the Nasdaq futures are up over 80. The Dow futures are up, so it's looking good for tomorrow. I have my senses. Most of the ones we're looking at are going to be up in the morning.
Beautiful. I love it. And yeah, I don't see anything wrong with the market here from what we're looking at. Obviously, I mean, we're in a government shutdown, guys, and let's go through the poly market real quick and see what's going on there. But yeah, a government shutdown, not really phasing. I'm telling you, they better get it. The Democrat, every day that goes on, guys, I'm telling you, they're probably, I would like look at it like if I were them, like, every day that goes on could be like a whole nother election we completely blow. And we need to get this party together. Again, guys, I am a registered Democrat. I live in a very Democratic area. I told the story. Growing up, I had to be. I worked under Norcross and them. I consulted to the government doing inspections. I tell you the stories all the time. I was the fire inspector in Camden for almost 2 decades. And I've seen it all, dead bodies and everything, trust me. And that's how I know how the government runs. I've worked with so many different mayors and so many different towns. And I started, guys, when I was 17 years old, when I got my driver's license, I was going to the different towns and awarding the bid contracts for like $30,000, $35,000, $40,000 contract to the contractors that would bid for them, because we were doing government contracting back then. And I was just doing all the write-ups and the specs and stuff like that. And the funding would come in, and then I would actually go out. We'd go do the inspection, and then the contractors would all bid on it. And the lowest bid, as long as it was, in the ballpark, if they were like way out of it, we would just throw that one out. And then we'd go, and if one was like super high, we'd throw them out. So yeah, I used to have to go through the contracts and look at all this stuff, guys. I've been doing it for a very long time and working with government. I was a consultant. I didn't work in government. I consulted to them my entire life and literally worked with tons of different mayors. I know how almost every single town operates around here. So yeah, it's just one of them things. But I've been doing that for a while as well. And let's see Let's see what else is going on. Michael Anthony, Kathy Woods ARK investment bought a total of $511 11,000 something shares of DraftKings on October 1st, huh? There you go. And let's see, Kat, Laptop Travel's daughter, man, she picked Cat out the other. I'm telling you, she picked it out right here, and the thing went up like if that option play, guys, that was an amazing call right there because that thing was soaring. And like I said to you guys, anytime if you're moving prices like this and you're going up like over $5 on a price, you're making pretty good option calls and making pretty good scratch on them. Trust me. Once they start moving like that, and right now you can see things have been jumping. I mean, we've seen some of these things get really ripping up there. And that's why we watch things like Sezzle, because look at this thing. It's getting right into that channel, and you're in the 85s, and we know this thing can get up into the 180s. It can easily double. Do you know what an option can do for that? Do they have options? Yes, they do. And let's just take a look, because here you go. And here, this is a great example. So you have it's going to expire next month, or you have to wait until January or April. So, excuse me. Let's just say we like it. It's 4 months out right there, guys. So we're going January 26 calls on Sezzle. And this one goes $5 increments. So again, you got to like look at them all and see what's going on. And so, yeah, you get your $5 increments right there. And then, yeah, if you like that 90 right here. And again, guys, I'll make it easy for you so it's less confusing. If you're looking at calls, they're always going to be on the left. I learned this kind of the hard way. I'm not going to lie. I had no idea what I was doing at the beginning. And I remember I clicked over here and I was like, wow, the price is going up and the stock's and my thing's going down. And then I realized that over on this side is all your puts. So you definitely want to go clicking over here in your brokerage. And they're all set, at least all mine are set up just like this in your brokerage. That's why I use the FinViz, because it's a obviously free website. Anyone could go on, look at the options chains on here. It's a great thing that they have offered now. This was not always on here. Trust me, guys. FinViz has really stepped it up to the plate. I'll tell you that. And you guys know, I was on them for the 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. They got that situated. It didn't take them that long. At first, we were talking, and then I think they realized I was on to something clearly. And I'll tell you what, after that, guys, they just went nuts and just started putting all kinds of great stuff on here. So FinViz hadn't changed probably for like, I'm telling you, I've been using it for so long. What did we say it came about? I think in like 2008 or something. I forget. We did say it. And I've been using it for that long. And yeah, it was basically the exact same forever. And then all of a sudden, I guess I sparked something under them because they just went nuts, guys, and in a great way. Because, I mean, they just gave us so much good stuff. And now with the AI thing, and yeah, so you use FinViz and you go back and forth on FinViz and TrendSpider like I always do, guys. I'm telling you right now, it's like unstoppable. You can just literally see everything that's going to happen right here. So it is like I say, the two sharpest tools in the shed right there for what we do, FinViz and TrendSpider. And they do two different things. I'm not going to lie. They're totally different platforms. That's why I use the two of them, because it allows me to look at a setup and know that everything is going right. So I've always told you, I used to look at stock charts. I always wanted to know that the setup was correct. Sometimes you'll look at a stock and it doesn't look right. We've seen it happen many times before, and we say, hey, we'll come back to it tomorrow and see if the chart gets like reset or whatever, and it's running back normal. And so yeah, you definitely have to double check, and I've been doing that my entire time I've ever started trading or learned how to read stock charts. Really, I got into this, guys, because I enjoyed reading stock charts. It was a hobby of mine. You guys know that. And then if you want to make money in it, you better learn how to trade. And then I had then that was a whole process too. So I think after all this time, we got it down. I tell you, I've made every mistake like 100 times each. I'm perfectly fine telling you, is I try to avoid everybody else from making all these mistakes that I had made for 20 some years like an idiot. So anyway, Luis Rodriguez did have to run. He hopped off, and we really appreciate Luis Rodriguez tonight. I think he had a lot of great information there, and a totally different way of trading to me and Laptop Travel. And Laptop Travel is always great, obviously, and he has a different style. He kind of goes in it to that day, and yeah, it's a lot of great information. So if you're just tuning in, guys, we had done our option show this evening. People were asking about how to trade options, and it's not the easiest thing. Like I tell you, last year at this time, I just decided to start putting money into them and learn how to do it. And of course, I started real small, and I showed you the ones that I started with. It was definitely MPW right there, and SPCE were definitely the first two that I ever bought. I remember. And I still have this one in my account, and it had been down, and all of a sudden just started to move back up as space has been moving up here. And again, I had it. I didn't even realize I bought it for like over a year out. So it might actually win. Who knows? But it wasn't much money either. It was only like $15, $20. I forget. It was pretty cheap. So that's why I was messing around with them. And I was just buying things knowing like, all right, this one's going to be like $20. It's whatever. It's a $20 learning curve right here. So we'll figure out what happens. And that's what I did, guys. And now I can kind of guide you guys down the right path. But again, just start paper trading them. Go in your platform, open up the paper trade. Most of them all offer. And if not, just find a private third-party one. There's tons of paper trading platforms out there that allow you to do it for free. And just go on there and just mess around with options for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then as you mess around with it, it'll start to click. And as you're messing around with it, guys, that's when you come back and hit up me, Laptop Travel, Luis Rodriguez. Shoot us a DM. You know I answer everybody. They already told you. Hit them up. They'll respond as well. They're great, guys. And if you have any questions, feel free. Reach out. You saw Joseph Levy. I mean, smashing it out for 176% on his very first option. He sold it a little bit lower because he woke up. Speaking of Joseph Levy, congratulations, Joseph Levy. He's going to Vegas for a pool, guys. He won, and he's going into like the championships as a 9-ball or 8-ball. I don't really remember, Joseph Levy. But one of them is an 8-ball that you play. I forget, to be completely honest. But yeah, Joseph Levy must be one hell of a pool player, guys, because I got 2 buddies that are like incredibly good. And I don't know if they're even going to stuff like that. So, or could make it, I'm saying. These guys can just like run a table like it's no big deal. They just, they break the ball and then they just go around and you never even get a chance. And you're like, what the hell just happened? It's insane. And so, yeah, Joseph Levy must be playing pool like that. So congratulations, Joseph Levy. And I saw that you were going back to Vegas. You're going to Vegas. You can go hang out with Bree and everybody out there, of course. So yeah, it'll be a good time, and that'll be fun. We'll all be rooting for you, Joseph Levy, that's for sure. So you got to keep us updated on your big pool stuff right there. But I did follow along this weekend. He's a big Covino and Rich fan as well, and he was posted in the on their page, and I saw it, and I was like, oh shit, Joseph Levy is like a pool shark over here. So I said to him, he is winning in everything at life right now. Option trades, his pool. I mean, this dude's on fire. You know what confidence can do for somebody, guys? That's why we talk about it all the time. Don't get cocky. Just keep your confidence. And like I tell you, I may come off to people like I'm a little bit cocky sometimes. And I always say, look, I am not bragging by no means. I could care less, really. I'm blessed with a gift. That's the way it works, I guess. And I'm extremely, you guys know, I say I'm blessed to be alive and I'm blessed every day. So, but yeah, you got to have confidence, guys. I couldn't do this if I wasn't confident with what I looked at. We would get destroyed in the market. If you're not confident in this, you will get destroyed. So be sure to build that confidence. And that's why we talk about it. I think Joseph Levy's gone fire with confidence right now. He's smashing options, winning his pool tournaments and everything. The guys, you get into these like you get into the zone like that, and it's like everything you touch just becomes amazing. You just got to try to keep yourself in that zone, and it happens all the time. So that's why I'm saying get into the paper trading. Look at get a couple good little tiny wins, even if they're paper trading. You really didn't make money, but you didn't also lose anything as well. But guess what? You gain the knowledge, which you can't really even pay for because like I said, I've watched a ton of YouTube videos. I even read that book, Options for Dummy. My one buddy, Mr. Berg, I'll give him a shout out. He's the man. He's so cool. He gave me an options book to read a couple years ago when I was going on vacation. And he was like, here, take this book with you. And I read it. I still didn't understand anything. I'm like, what the hell am I even looking at here? And this was before I even suffered a brain injury, guys. So, yeah, it's interesting, but I couldn't figure it out until I physically started to do it. it. And again, I honestly didn't do it with paper trading. I just went right in and did it. But I made sure I did them really small. I'm not suggesting that by no means, but that's just the way it works for me. Some people it'll work better for you if you're using real money, but just do it with like the spaces and the ones that like cost like $1, $3, $13. You can get extremely cheap. I don't think you're gonna make a ton of money on them. Just get the win, see how they work. Let them go up $5. Guess what? That's pretty good on a $13 option. So again, it's all about building that confidence and knowing that you're comfortable looking at what you're looking at, and you think that it's going to win. Like you're confident it's going to win. Obviously, nothing's a guarantee in this, but you're confident enough where you're like, yeah, this one should pull it off. Obviously, anything can happen at any moment, but the way it looks, I should be a winner here. So you do have to have that confidence for sure, and that's why we talk about it. And I think the confidence actually goes further than anything else. If you can get into that cycle and just, you're going to lose some, you'll even be more confident with selling losses real short and real quick, and that'll build up your confidence because you're like, you know what, I used to just hold on to this thing and just watch it just bleed to death, and then my money was tied up. This time I saw it dipping down. I got to right the hell out. If it wanted to bounce back, it wanted to bounce back, but it didn't look right to me. I took my small little loss, and now I can reallocate that money rather than watch that stock just bleed out and kill me, and then I can't do anything with that money anyway. So even selling small losses can build your confidence, guys. Trust me. It helped me, honestly. I did like a whole trading thing where like I did like 30 days. What was it? 20? I forget. 20 to 30 days. And you do like a small trade each day, guys. You just get in, get out. Whether it's a profit or not, you just look at the setup. You're confident in it, and you get in. And if it doesn't run the right way, then obviously you get out right away, and you see that your losses can be kept down to a minimum. And once you start to program your brain like that and see it, and then some of them are winning, and now you're starting to look, how are these winning, and starting to break them down like that? It's a big game, guys. And it doesn't happen overnight. Everybody knows that. Robin said the same thing. Robin's been doing really well lately. I met Robin at the Covino and Rich convention. What was that? Out in June, probably, right? Because I think my wife had like finished school, and I left like the next day. So it was probably like in the middle of June or something, if I remember correctly. And yeah, Robin, we hung out a bunch of times while we were at the convention. He asked me stuff. I was like, yeah, man, follow along. Robin's been hanging out on the show every day. We appreciate it. And, but also, guys, he wasn't doing so great at the beginning. And now Robin's feeling pretty confident with TSLL. He's been hitting some pretty good ones. And again, you don't have to get rich off of these. You got to be making profits. And as you keep compounding it, that's when you see your accounts really grow. Learning how to do it's just the beginning, and then really applying it and making it work is where it's at. And that's where we're at, guys. And you guys know our Discord's amazing. We always have great picks. I'll have the night note in there for the setups, and Ben and Laptop Travel, Godfather, everybody in there is great. And you get a lot of different views. There's a lot of different things going on. But again, at any moment, guys, if you ever have a question, you feel free to shoot me a DM on X. I respond to everybody. I go through the stupid spam mail every day just to make sure I don't miss anything, and I make sure I delete it all so it doesn't get all confusing now. So I keep up on that. And yeah, so I try to make sure I respond to everybody, and I probably respond to people that are spam, but I'm like, is this like a real message? I can't even freaking tell. So then they send it back, and I'm like, oh, it was definitely spam, and I just delete it. But I'm like, they kind of approach like, hey, how's it going? And I have a quick question. I'm like, yeah, sure, anything. And then it's like a bunch of spam shit coming. I'm like, oh, I set myself up for that, but whatever. And but yeah, guys, feel free anytime. Just reach out if you ever have a question or anything. Just hit me up. Joseph Levy did. So many people do all the time, guys. All I'm here to do is guide you down the right path. That's what we do here. That's why we started doing the show. That's why we love the show. We come on every day to help every day. That's at 1860 already, guys. And overnight, Luis Rodriguez just said. So yeah, these things aren't looking bad right there, I must say. And MicroStrategy at 360. Yeah, shit, that one went up pretty significantly too. And obviously our crypto is looking good. It's down a little bit there, but it is not looking bad at all. And yeah, guys, these markets are going to get ripping. So let me see if we got to everything right here. You need to use stock charts to show the candles better. I used to use stock charts. Watch this, Michael Anthony. It's right there, my second favorite. And but yeah, I don't use it anymore. And I'll just throw on DKNG. And yeah, it doesn't even do anything for me anymore, to be completely honest with you. You have I don't know. It's weird. I used it for so many years, I'm not gonna lie. And now I don't even use it at all. I'm strictly TrendSpider, FinViz, and I don't think I'll ever change, guys, because both of them are just absolutely amazing platforms. They both do similar things, but a lot of different things, obviously. They give you two different chart looks. Obviously, TrendSpider, I set up my own scanners and everything else, so I love it for that. It's so great. Then you have all your AI stuff, what's happening, your market scanner, all this great stuff down here, guys. So you can just check what's happening. It pulls up like all the options and things of that nature. So yeah, just a lot of great stuff going on over here in TrendSpider, and obviously FinViz stepped it up big time after we got them to change the market from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. They changed the charts and then just went wild after that. So that was great. And TeraWulf, we were talking about, that's rolling. That's in the 12s right now, 1222. And those are correct charts to use. These are the correct charts right here, Michael Anthony. That's the perfect chart right there. I'm telling you, these are the charts you need right here, guys. You can see everything going on so perfect. It just jumps out at me. And yeah, I used stock charts for a long time, but definitely didn't. It doesn't do it for me anymore. I don't need three, and it like I said, the TrendSpider just replaced it, like without a question in my mind. I mean, I can't even say that I even question going back and never have TrendSpider. I feel like I'm in the Matrix with TrendSpider. And obviously, FinViz gives me all my setups and everything else. So there you go. And Delta Airlines right here, Michael Anthony's starting to like them, and I would have to agree with you. Let's wait. Earnings are coming up October 9th. Maybe Luis Rodriguez will try that straddle move right there, because that's looking pretty good. And it's going to go one way. I don't know on earnings which way it can go, but it's going to do something right there. I agree with you, Michael Anthony. That's for sure. And Jets is an ETF for the airliners right here. So there you are with Jets, and that looks pretty good. So yeah, I would say both of them are looking good. Jets is looking really nice right there. It's a shame it's not like a two-time ETF or something, but definitely looking nice. And thank you, Robin, for hanging out. And he said thanks to Laptop Travel and Luis Rodriguez for the show. And we'll catch you tomorrow. I know Robin gets up pretty early. He listens to us on his ride in to work. So, and let's see what else is going. Yeah, and Laptop Travel's daughter picked Caterpillar the other day, like I said, and then BZAI. I mean, she might be a 9-year-old protege right here. Look at this thing. This thing's about to get ripping, that BZAI. So you might want to keep an eye on that. That's for sure. And let's see what else is going on over here. That Dragonfly DKNG we were talking about, and Kathy Woods buying a bunch of stuff. And let's see if I missed anything. Let me see. I'm just kind of scrolling up. What do you think of quantum computing stocks? So they are actually all trending right now. Yeah, let me tell you what I think of them. But I'll go to the stock twits real quick, and I'll just tell you what's trending. Wait till you hear this, because I was going through it just before we hopped on real quick. Oh, did they change them? They might have changed them all. They were all the quantum ones. It was QUBT, QBTS. They were all up there. Right now, you got your CRML, the metals company, guys. There was a CNR person, one of the listeners, I'm trying to remember who the heck it was buying. He said he kept buying up TMC on all the dips, and this is what he liked. And yeah, he might have been on to something really early right there. I'll tell you that, because that is looking pretty good, the metals company. And there's your QBTS. That is up right there. It says it's at 32.98 right there. Yep, that's what it says. And what's MTLX? The Vikings on there right now. Let's see what Vikings up to. That one don't look bad. That one finally looks like it's going to run. I got burned on the Viking once, but I would play it again. This one looks real good, guys. This might be a big runner. Laptop Travel, you listening still? Pay attention to this one in the morning, dude. MLTX, Moonlake Immunotherapeutics may go Moonlake in there tomorrow morning, guys. It looks really good, and to try to get cruising off of that huge dip. So definitely looking at MLTX in the morning. I know that. And let's see what else we see over here. And that good old iPath it is, PATH, isn't it called iPath or something? UiPath, it's something like that. And yeah, that one could get rolling right back off the MACD after that run up right there. So there you go. Laptop Travel is here. So yeah, definitely pay attention to that MLTX in the morning. Laptop Travel. That thing does look pretty good. It could get cruising early there for you. So just a heads up on that one. Keep it on your watch list in the morning. And yeah, that Vikings at 31 in the pre-market already, guys. So this thing is looking pretty good right there for Viking Therapeutics. And let's see if we missed anything. I would say that's a pretty fun show. Luis Rodriguez does like PATH right there. And yeah, I'd say that was a pretty fun option show, guys. Let us know what you think, and we can do a couple more shows. Again, I'll line it up so that the screens are up here next time, so they're not down messing up anything that we're trying to talk about. I took a guess. I was like, I think on the bottom might be better. I was completely wrong, guys. So see what happens when you guess. It's a 50-50 shot. That's all. And I got it wrong. But anyway, I'll put them up on the sides like this. It'll be way better, I think. And that Bitfarms Hive's a good one, too. I've traded that one for a while now, HIVE. And this is another like capital market kind of crypto deal one, HIVE. And that Bitfarms, we did talk about Nasty Devil right there. And what is the one I still can't think of it. It ran up from like $1 to 26 for it. I got it right now. As I said that, BTCT, there you go, guys. That was it. And keep this one on your watch list because I saw this one the other day, and it's going to get cruising. So, yeah, BTCT. And, guys, we ran this thing. We hit this right here, right at the bottom. It was like in the dollars, and it went up to like over 26. I remember that. Yeah, 26.58. So, there you go. With BTCT, another one of these computer hardware ones and crypto related. And somebody asked what we thought about quantum and computer hardware. They're ripping, guys. They're not going to stop. This is the part of the AI right now that's going to continue to drag the markets up. They can't be slowed down right now because of what's going on with AI and the quantum and the computer hardwares and all them guys. So here's your QBT and your QBTS, your D-Wave. I always tell you this one's the big runner. Look at it. Remember we were talking about it right down here. We go through it just about every night. That doubled right there for you guys from where we were saying it was looking good. And obviously, I always put the QMCO on there just to give me a heads up to go through the quantum ones. And then QTUM is their Defiance, and it's staying in the top still, guys. Doesn't want to come down at all. How about your IONQ running up there as well? That looks good right there. One Z-Space going to get moving here. This one, I mean, I bet when this thing gets set up, it looks like it's finally bottoming out, guys. We've said that multiple times, but I do think with what's going on in the market, you get up in this channel and your 20s and 50s will curl it up. So this one right here, guys, could be a great opportunity. I mean, we're under $1 now. Look at this thing. It started out over here like last December or something, I remember. And it ran up to 32.69. It opened at 5.80, and now we can get it under $1. We've been watching this bad boy for a while, and I think you might have your bottom right there finally, guys. Under $1, 89 cents. And that's why being patient is well worth it, guys. Patience definitely pays off. Bitcoin going to have a drop. The miners will follow. Sezzle's looking great. Bitcoin's not really dropping anytime soon, Michael Anthony. So I'm just letting you know it's about to hit like a major cycle right here. I don't know if you saw what happened in 2017, but you're about to see it again. Bitcoin's not going anywhere. I promise. It's going up. Let's put it that way. Remember when I told you not to tell anyone that Tesla was going down to 250 that day? And I said, there's no way in hell it's hitting 400 before it goes to 250. And we were probably around here. I remember we were probably in like the 350 range when you said that. And then we were right over 450 right there. So now it's at 429, not looking bad. Bitcoin is not going down, I promise you. And SBET and all these guys are going to be rolling as well, guys. So there you go. And Sezzle, we talked about it. I actually brought it up on the options, and Yeah, I would check this thing out. You got January, you got April, but you know damn right, and within the next 3 months, this thing could get wild, guys. So there you go. And look, it's already moving up already, and it's just beginning because, like I said, we know that Sezzle can really get cruising, and it's at 85. It can go right back to 180 plus right there. So that one's a good one as well. The shutdown going to fall flat fall that in 2017 there was the Michael, if you think the shutdown is stopping, shutdown, Michael Anthony, as a matter of fact, the shutdown will catapult crypto even higher, to be honest with you, because the dollar bill takes a beating and crypto goes higher. So as a matter of fact, the shutdown is probably helping it boost it up right now. And yeah, it's not going down. I promise you, Michael Anthony, it is not going down right now. I can tell you that with almost 100% confidence, because it is not going down anywhere. Is that crazy right now? Historically, November has been the best month for Bitcoin, up over 17% on average. And yeah, you're about to see it happen. Friday markets keep selling off. They didn't even really sell off, Michael Anthony. There was really rarely any sell off. I mean, Tesla pulled back, Amazon a little bit, but honestly, the SPY was right there. It barely even did anything. It just sat there. It went up, it went down, and it hung out as it always does, and went flat. And it looks like it wants to get over this trend line now and keep popping. We'll look at it first thing in the morning, and we'll know exactly what's going on right there. But there you go, everybody. I would say that's a pretty exciting option show, a little bit different than what we usually do. We still did a little bit of our live show and went through some stuff, but I hope everybody enjoyed that. And politics, what does it say? Politics jolts markets as Japan stocks soar 4%. Bitcoin leaps to record high with gold. There you go, Michael Anthony. And Dow S&P 500 futures mixed as government shutdown drags on. And let's see, yeah, record-setting week. We already read all these bad boys, so nothing else changed. Just that one headline right there. So there you go, everybody. I would say an exciting evening learning options. And again, anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to any of us. Hit me up on DM. And actually, I know Luis Rodriguez said that. I think he said he sent me over to PDF. So I'll hit him. I'll ask him again, guys, and make sure. I'm pretty sure he said he sent them over to me. I'll share them with you guys. We can do that as well. So yeah, it's a lot of good stuff on this show. Keep this one saved. Make sure you definitely like this show and repost it for everybody to check it out. They can all learn how to do options and come out and have fun with us. So thank you, everybody. Michael Anthony, and of course, my sidekicks for this evening, Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel. You guys were awesome. Appreciate all that knowledge and everything that you did, and coming on and spending all that time doing your setups and everything else, because obviously you guys did like presentations and what the heck is PowerPoint? I couldn't even think of that word. PowerPoint presentations. And yeah, you got to put all that stuff together and spend time on it and know what you're talking about. So greatly appreciate all your effort, guys. As always, you know that. Nasty Devil. And who else was on here besides Michael Anthony? And I know Robin was on here. We know Doge Mama 9. She's always on. So What was on as well. Of course, Ross R., how are you? And he missed most of the thing, but go back. Yeah, go back and watch it. Guys, I encourage everybody to go back and watch it, because I'm telling you, you'll pick stuff up and you can take better notes as you can watch it on a video. You can stop stuff, bring it back, listen to it, and all that good stuff, and see what the hell we're talking about. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. So Doge Mama 9, we're going to get you jamming in options and crushing it. So you're our next one that we're going to get rocking and rolling there. And Joseph Levy there, we were talking about Joseph Levy and his great pool playing. And Rhett stopped in. I think Ben might even stopped in. So our story trading crew. And yeah, Ben, I saw you guys writing. Yeah, Joseph Levy and anybody in Discord, trust me, don't answer any messages in Discord, guys. They're all spam. None of us are hitting you up on Discord. We'll just kind of reach out to you. If we ever need you, we'll reach out to you, but it won't be in Discord, because there's just so much spam and scams. Not even spam, just scams. Mad scams, guys. Everyone tells you that they can what is it, copy trade? Is that what they all tell you or something? I forget what the hell it's even called. But yeah, we don't do any of that stuff. So yeah, don't respond to anybody on Discord. If you think it's somebody, reach out to me personally on X, hit me a DM and say, yo, I got this message. I told you the story, dude. I had to hit Red up. I thought he was hitting me up one day, and I'm sitting here texting him. He's like, nah, dude, it wasn't me. I promise you. I'm like, all right, so that's a scam because I almost fell for it. And I'm in the freaking Discord, guys. So yeah, it's that crazy. I literally had to text Rhett and ask him, like, yo, did you just shoot me a DM? And he's like, no, it was not me. I promise. That's why on his Discord it says, I won't ever DM you, because everybody pretends to be Rhett because he runs the Discord in there. Everyone knows he's the point man. He's running it all for us. And so yeah, everyone thinks that Rhett, I promise you guys, he's never reaching out. And if you ever think he is, or anybody, just shoot me a message and ask me, guys. Trust me, you can ask me anything. You guys know that. And so yeah, definitely don't respond to anybody in Discord, okay? Because they are all scams. I almost got scammed myself. I was like, why the heck's Rhett hit me up on here? He has my number, and I'm like messaging back with him, and then I'm like, is this even Rhett? Like, I gotta text him now and see, because why did he hit me up on here and just not text me? And then I'm glad I hit him up, because this dude sounded like it was Rhett to me, and everything seemed normal. And I was like, what is going on? And it was right when I had started the Discord, so I wasn't like that familiar with it all. And so yeah, guys, just I can't stress it enough. Don't respond to anybody. If you ever think of anything, like anybody you don't know, you have a question or whatever, hit me up on X, guys. Just shoot me a DM, and you guys know I'll respond and lead you right down the right path. I'll tell you whatever's going on. You guys know I'll tell you. Zach's hanging out. Thank you, Zach. He said he was thanks for doing the show. We greatly appreciate Zach. He's always liking everything and reposting. And Doge Mama 9, and of course Rob in there. Trader Dan 72. How are you this evening? I just saw you. You're like the very first one that popped up for some reason. You're the message that just pops out of order. I'm telling you, like each night, somebody's message just pops out of order. It's really weird. And it goes to the very top of the StreamYard instead of at the bottom as they usually do. So there you go. And Rhett's name on Discord says it. LOL. Yeah, it says, I do not DM anybody. And I'm sitting here talking back to this person going, why didn't you just text me? He could have just called me and asked me these questions. And yeah, so guys, I'm telling you, there's all kinds of scammers out there. We already know that. They try to do it on X. I have to say, it's kind of humbling. I mean, it's like kind of, who would have thought a dummy like me would have a bunch of fake accounts? Like, people want to copy what I do, but there's so many of them. It's insane. And you guys message me all the time, and I just say, just please report it, because I report them, and then they just come back, or there's more, and it's just wild, guys. How many scammers are out there trying to scam people? So you guys know, if you ever have a question about anything, just shoot me a message in X. I'm going to respond to you guys, and I'm going to tell you exactly what's right and what's wrong. So there you go. No copy trading, none of that crap. We do the live trading, guys, in the Discord, and you guys know when we have it, because we let you guys know inside the Discord, and I'm pretty sure we'll be picking back up on that. I'm feeling way better. Cadence is here. How are you, Cadence, this evening? And we have to get you involved in the options too. You and Doge Mama right there. You two messaged right next to each other a couple minutes ago, and you two are next. We're gonna get you two lined up and start ripping through options. So we'll make it work for everybody. Clean Spark there, Nasty Devil. We usually look at that each night. One of our crypto miners, and it's been looking good. It does look like it wants to run up. Let's look at Matter and Riot real quick, and we'll look at these in the morning as we usually do. Riot's been looking better than Matter lately. Clean Spark looks pretty damn good there, though. So there you go. And let me see what else. I think we got to everything. Yeah, I think I actually got to everything right there. And Laptop Travel said we had 20 of 21 straight trading days with 100% more winners. 3 of those days were over 2,000%. And our one day, which failed, we were up 80% right there. So yeah, Laptop Travel crushes it at 4 a.m. And again, guys, we all decided let's focus on what we're good at, and then we can kind of benefit everybody. So yeah, Laptop Travel just murders it in them fast trades, 4 a.m. The setups real quick. He's great. He leads the Discord right through. And that's where I said I was trying to get out of my lane, guys, and I got put right back in my lane because I was like, nope, you can't do these things. Stick to your setups. You've done plenty well with them, and you'll continue to do plenty well, and everybody will. My buddy Donnie's hanging out. You got it. We call each other Elliot, and it's a if anyone's a Stern fan, I told you I was a huge Stern fan. Elliot, what is his name? Elegant Elliot Offen. Yeah, it was it. Elegant Elliot Offen. Me and my buddy Donnie, we love that guy. He was just so out of his name. What did he used to say? He used to walk in and say crazy stuff. I was actually at the Sirius Studios one day when he was up there, and they had to escort him out. And yeah, he was out front of Sirius Studios, so right in the middle of Times Square. Guys, just like, what did he used to say? He used to yell like this crazy saying, and they had to have like security escort him off the property and never let him back in. The dude was completely out of his mind, but yeah, he was quite entertaining. So. That's why if you ever see my buddy Donnie call me Elliot, that's why we both say, "What's up, Elliot?" to each other, and just laughing about the guy Elliot Offen that used to be on the Stern Show. He's like one of the whack packers, and he was really wacky. I'm telling you, like I said, I saw the guy in person while I was up there, and they were escorting him all over the property, out of there, out of here. He was like laying in the bushes and stuff. It was crazy, guys. I was like, holy shit. Wonder how often this goes on around. And like, guys, the Sirius is like in a building. They're like on the 47th floor. There's like banks, like major banks, and like normal people trying to work. And this guy's like ripping stuff out of the offices and just going wild, guys. I was surprised they didn't call the police. But I guess if Stern's bringing him on and he's a whack backer, it's whatever. Yeah, they had to get security to escort him out, and then they had to escort him off of the property. I watched it all happen, so I definitely know. So appreciate you hanging out as always, Donnie. And my buddy Donnie's way into crypto, guys. He's been mining for like ever. This dude like has all kinds of crazy setups, and yeah, Donnie's taught me some stuff about crypto, that's for sure. He's been doing it for a pretty good amount of time now, and he's gotten way into it, I must say. So Donnie is definitely a good friend of mine. Donnie saved my life. I'll tell you a story about this dude, Donnie, right here. This dude, I tell everybody this story, and my wife knows. This dude's a big dude. He's big. You won't want to mess with him, trust me. But he's way stronger than he even appears to be. I mean, he's a big dude, but I'm telling you, he's the strongest dude I've ever met in my life, and I've watched him do multiple things that have just like dropped my jaw and just said, holy shit, dude, like that's unhuman to be able to even lift shit. I watched him one day. My trailer was in my backyard, right? And I wanted to move it. And I'm like, here, let's just pull it up and like basically wiggle it around so we could, like pull it right and then back it left and sit there and try to maneuver it for like 45 minutes to make it move over an inch because it's in a real tight spot. And then Donnie goes, watch out, dude. He lift the trailer up, guys. Lift the trailer. Now, me and my one buddy that Donnie used to work with is a big-ass dude. He comes over, and I'm telling my buddy Devo the story. And Devo's like, he lifted up by him. I'm like, yeah, Devo, let's just try to lift it. We couldn't even lift. We could lift it, but not like Donnie. Donnie picked the goddamn trailer up, guys, and just like took 2 steps over and just put it down like nonchalantly. But the kicker, here is the best story, Donnie, if you're listening. I know you'll never forget this. I had this huge pine tree in my front yard. We had all these crazy storms. Trees were just getting shredded like nuts. I had literally just bought an enclosed landscaping trail. It was sitting in my driveway. I had it for like 2 days, guys, and this storm rips through, and I'm not kidding. It rips this branch. I mean, it was like a 40-foot long branch, and it speared it right through my brand new trailer and just like ripped through the ceiling, ripped right through the roof like it wasn't like a tin can. It would just shredded it, and then the branch ripped through the trailer, through the door, opened the door, so it was hanging out the top of the thing, and then kicked the door, so the rest of it was hanging out. It was this huge thing, and we're sitting there going, holy shit, that was crazy. Very next day, another branch comes down right in front of my house and just wraps around my car. And it missed the car. It just like all the leaves and stuff were on it, but it wrapped all the way around. It was the most craziest scene ever. So at this time, and I know a couple tree guys that actually do big tree businesses. And at this moment, these dudes are just swamped. They have these huge jobs going on because, I mean, you're talking like neighborhoods are getting knocked out. They had to go do jobs for like the for the towns, so they couldn't really come over. Me and Donnie, because Donnie's a maniac, guys. We cut this tree down. I'm not even kidding. This thing this thing was giant, guys. It was massive pine tree in my front yard. We cut this thing. I'll never forget. Donnie's up there. He ties himself off. He cuts this huge branch, and the thing just like goes flying. And Donnie, if he hadn't tied himself off, I'm telling you, he would have went catapulting like 40 yards away from my house. He would have been landing. He would have landed like 2 blocks away, I bet. And he was holding on to the thing. He's like, "Oh man, I gotta get down. That shit hurt." And I'm telling you, if it was me, I would have been dead instantly. So anyway, me and Donnie cut this tree down. Right, this is the greatest story ever. And my buddy Rico, I talk about him. If you ever need any dumpsters or demolition in the Philadelphia area, hit up Rico Demolition. Dude's amazing. He's awesome. Does huge jobs and really great dude. I mean, super, super great guy. So Rico hooks me up. He's like, "Here, I'll put a dumpster in your front in front of your house for you. Throw all the shit in there and I'll go dump it out." I'm like, perfect. So me and Donnie have this like thing practically loaded up, so you can't really open up the side because we were just throwing it over. Now we get to the very stump, like the big stump part, and I'm telling you guys, this thing must have weighed over 1,000 pounds. I don't even know how we got it onto the side. I don't think I did anything. Donnie picked the goddamn thing up. I'm pretty sure himself. I might have helped him a little bit. So we get it up on top of the dumpster, and it's like leaning at us. I'm telling you, this thing had to have weighed 1,000 pounds or more. It probably was easily 1,000 pounds. And Donnie's like, he's like, and I'm over here like, ah, I'm not even moving it. Donnie's like, just like moving it up. And he's like, he has to like relocate his hand because I'm like underneath of him. Now I'm getting in his way. And I'm like, oh shit. So Donnie moves his hand. And I'm not even kidding, guys. This thing just starts coming down on me. And I'm like, yo, dude. And he just grabs his left hand, picks it up, and it's like, raw! It just throws this thing in the dumpster, guys. I'm like, meanwhile, I'm like bending backward. The thing like almost bent me right in half. I'm not even kidding. I almost died. I'm telling you, I had plenty of crazy death stories close to him. But yeah, that thing almost bent me in half and killed me right there. And Donnie just grabs this thing, throws it in there. And I'm like, holy shit, dude, that was wild. And yeah, I'm telling you, there's just people you wouldn't want to mess with. Donnie's that guy. I say it all the time. He hits you guys. You are not waking up. I promise you. You are just not getting up. The first time I ever met Donnie, this is another great story. I knew Donnie's ex-girlfriend just from growing up, and Donnie's in the cars and everything that I'm like into. So I meet them and we go to hang out. I remember I stopped by Donnie's house, and this guy, the first time I ever go in there, I don't know if you guys ever seen like them hand pressure things that you like squeeze and like you build up muscle. Well, he had one, and it was like the thickest thing I'd ever seen. Like I've seen them before, but not like this. This thing looked like it was like crazy. I was like, what the hell? And he's sitting there doing it with his left hand. And I remember I walked in and he just like shakes my hand. I'm like, God damn, dude, almost broke my hand. He's like, oh, my bad. I was just doing the hand exercises. So he's over here, guys, doing this thing with his right hand, right? And he's squeezing it. And he goes, dude, by the end of the summer, I'll never forget this. He goes, by the end of the summer, I'm going to be able to squeeze this thing with my left hand. And when you can do that, this is enough pounds per pressure to break human bone. I go, yeah, no shit, dude. He just broke my hand. I'm telling you, I thought he broke my hand. I'm not even kidding. The first time I ever met him, I'm like, holy shit. He goes, dude, I didn't even think I shook your hand hard. I'm like, dude, my hand, I think you just broke it. I'm like, I'm not even kidding. And I'm not like a weak guy. And Donnie knows, if anyone's giving Donnie a fight for his money, he knows he's picking me. And yeah, Donnie's no joke. So yeah, me and Donnie have been friends for a long time. We've done a lot of crazy stuff together. We also cut down a tree in between my house and my neighbors. This one was a good job too. This is a great story, Donnie. I know you remember this one. We're up on my neighbor's roof and we cut this piece and I'm trying to pull it off, and here the thing just breaks and snaps. It went right through my neighbor's roof. There's a big ass branch sticking out of the roof. I looked at Donnie. I'm like, oh, that didn't go so well. We should probably quit while we're ahead. So yeah, I had to re-roof a section of my neighbor's roof. Had to cut it all out, put new plywood in, put new shingles in. You don't even know what happened, but yeah, me and Donnie, we've done a lot of crazy stuff. So always appreciate Donnie. But that is why he calls me Ellie. You guys might see that on the YouTube, and we do call each other that. But Donnie's a great dude, and a lot of crazy, great stories with Donnie. That's for sure. I'm not gonna lie. So Donnie is an animal, and I know if I ever need protection, Donnie's definitely the guy I go to. This dude is no joke. He hits you, you're not waking up. It's not even a question, guys. I already know. If he hits me, I'm not waking up. So, and like I said, I'll probably give him his best run for his money. There's obviously bigger dudes, but out of like friends that we know, we've done some really crazy stuff together, and we look at each other and go, "How the hell are we even alive right now?" And yeah, we just keep on cruising along, I guess. So some good stories about my buddy Donnie. So you do see him on the YouTube. He's always just breaking balls and messing around, acting all silly. It's the way he is. And he's a really, really good dude. But yeah, the strongest dude I've ever met. I say it all the time. There was one other dude I knew that was maybe as strong. And he used to work for my buddy Rico. Ended up getting into some crazy shit, but I won't even talk about that story. But we used to call the guy Hand Truck, and this dude Hand Truck. Obviously, if your nickname's Hand Truck, it means you can probably lift up everything. And this guy was a big dude. He was like 6'8" and just a massive guy, massive hands. Donnie's a big dude, but it's a guy that, like, you might think you might be able to take, and he'll kill you immediately. I'm telling you, if he even grabs you, he'll crush your bones. I'm not kidding. It's pretty wild. So yeah, I've learned that you respect people and you never really try to get into somebody with anybody. You just never know who the person is, guys. And I'm a crazy dude. You don't want to mess with me. You guys know that. And I'm not that big. Donnie's a pretty big dude. But again, people like to mess with big guys. I don't know why, but Donnie's has some crazy stories of people messing with him. They don't get up. I'm telling you, they don't. Sometimes they don't. He got lucky that guy woke up. He almost went to jail because some dudes tried to mess with him at a bar. He was picking up his food, and Donnie's leaving, and these three dudes surround him, and Donnie just drops the dude, and his head. Donnie said his head bounced off the concrete like a bouncy ball. He's like, I just kind of hit him. I didn't even hit him hard, and I believe it. Trust me. And yeah, the dude's head bounced off this concrete, and the cops told him, they're like, you better hope this dude wakes up. You might get in trouble. And yeah, the dude didn't press any charge. Like I said, they came out and messed with him. And his two buddies even told the cops the story. So yeah, so you don't want to mess with people sometimes. And I've learned that. Definitely, you guys know, I walked around in the most dangerous city in the country for a long time. And you just keep to yourself. You nod the biggest dude like Donnie and say hi to him and keep on your merry way. So just a little life experience right there for people. But yeah, that's who my buddy Donnie is. So thanks for hanging out. Everybody, Cadence is ready for the options and everybody else. And Yankees, another spanking tonight. They're down 0-2 right now. So, oh, wow. We'll see if they can come back a little bit. And Michael Anthony, food companies might not be that strong right now due to government shutdown and welfare monies, but being cut back. Coca-Cola went cash negative for the first time this century, 40%. That's wild, guys. Wow, that's pretty crazy, huh? And yeah, look at our food. Look at Coca-Cola. That might be a prime opportunity right there. Laptop travel. Look at that thing. That looks beautiful right there. So there you go, everybody. A little fun story at the end about my buddy Donnie as well. And a great option show right there, guys. So if you're learning how to trade options or you're trying to figure it out, again, start with your paper trading. Any questions, shoot me a DM. You can always hit up Laptop Travel, Luis Rodriguez, and ask us anything. We'll definitely guide you down the right road and try to make sure that you're doing it right. And that's all you can do. And you're never going to do it if you never try it, right? And like I said, I just went right into it last year, right around this time. And if you guys knew what I made in 3 months, your heads would explode. It was freaking crazy. And I can see it's about to happen again, guys. So this is why we did our show, to get everybody ready, because it's going to get wild, guys. And these options can really pay you a lot of money if you're in them at the right time, Caden. So we will get you in there, Doge Mama 9, everybody else that hangs out. You guys know we will get everybody on board. Any questions, feel free to hit me up. Thank you for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure to like this show and retweet it just because of the option show. And then my buddy Donnie gets a good story at the end. So there you go, Donnie. You'll be in the option show forever right there. And of course, thanks Laptop Travel and Luis Rodriguez for all your help this evening and all that great information. So everybody enjoy your evening. I don't even know if the games are still on. It's like 11 o'clock. We just did a 3-hour option show right there. I'll just take a quick look just to see if the football game's on. I'm not even sure. Patriots and Bills are still on. 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they did score. The Patriots are up 20-10. Bills have the ball. So there you go with that. And the MLB is all over. The Mariners did win 3-2. The Tigers tried to come back, so that series is tied 1-1, and the Blue Jays spanked the Yankees 13-7, and they are leading that series 2-0 right there. So there you are, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. You know, we do this show. It's usually our live show at night. We do it every Sunday night through Thursday night at 8 p.m. And then tomorrow morning, we'll be on at 7 a.m. We do our pre-market show Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. We cruise through the market real quick for about a half hour. And tomorrow is Dodgers versus Phillies in Philadelphia, Doge Mama 9. And hopefully my Phillies can look a little better. They didn't look bad in the beginning. I'm telling you, their bullpen screws them every year. And then they try to hit for the fences every single ball. You got to win with singles and doubles in the playoffs, unless you're just smoking hot and everybody's crushing home runs. But they seem to get cooled off because every pitch is just crazy in the World Series and the playoffs. I mean, and going into the World Series, so it's a different atmosphere. And the every pitch really counts. The pitchers are really on point. The coaches are really on point. Everything matters completely. So you got to kind of play smarter ball, I feel like. But anyway, your Dodgers did come back the other day, and they smacked that ball out of the park for that 3-run homer and definitely took the lead and sealed the deal there. So it was a pretty good game, I must say. And that series right there, I'm telling you, one of them teams you very well may see in the World Series right there. I'm not going to lie. Whoever wins that series has a very good shot of getting into the World Series, I think. So there you go, Doge Mama 9. Again, any questions, feel free to hit me up. We'll be on at 7 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody. And, of course, all information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence and enjoy your evening, everybody. I'll catch you guys in the morning and see you at 7 a.m.